prize pool of 2,000 US dollars. We have got 25,000 US dollars on the line. We've talked about this already. You grab that number one spot, that's more than 44,000 ringgit. That's more than 500,000 pesos. A lot is on the line here, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. And that is why some teams really need to put their pedal to the metal right now and no holding back. Yes, they might make some mistakes, but knowing that these are pro teams jumping into grand finals, they will be able to find out a simple mistake and then turn it around later on. And at some point, I guess that is some of the things that they need to make sure that it doesn't happen. Because if you jump in as a whole team, you might be able to be taken out in there, and being there in the lowest part of this finals will bring you only 250 on the US dollars. That is a lot compared to the 10,000 that we have at first. So that is why a lot of strategies has need to be made through on this game for them to be able to apply, and they need to do it right now, especially in day 2, because the cards has been dealt already
Yeah.
and it has been read by the teams. It's time now for them to pull out all those kings and aces and put it
Mhm.
into play, just to make sure that they have enough firepower to put into play on the third day as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And, this is exactly why the strategy will also count out there, because the scarcity of the points within the structure of the competition in itself. We've reduced the number of teams in the lobbies, and
Mhm.
alongside the reduction of the number of teams, we've reduced the points available for the placements as well. The winner only takes away 10 points. Second place loses 4 points from what the winner would have gotten, 6 points in the second spot, and then you minus one all the way down to the 7th to 8th position. That only gets you 1 point. 9 to 16th, you get nothing at all in terms of placements. But here is where the kill points will truly matter. Here is where the Four Kings outperformed a lot of the teams within semifinals one. And here is exactly where Vagabond's Nomads found a way to rise up to the top as well in such dominant fashion. Those kill points will mean a lot at Garena Survivors, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the kill points is now overtaking the rain in terms of the golden ratio that we are talking about. It doesn't have to be balanced because of the scarcity of the points that they will be getting for the placement. So it's just they need to get a better placement point together with the kill points as they end each round for them to be able to overtake some of the
Yeah.
teams. And this is the chance that they have to be able to pull up on all those points. So if they have been holding back and just reading through all the tactics of the other teams, they need to put into play that the kill points right now
Mm.
makes a lot of difference in this
Yeah.
game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. And of course, here are the qualified teams, the top 16. These are the Kings of Kings. But to start things off, the very, very famous Four Kings who dominated semifinals. One followed by VVV Esports, Vici, Amateurs Esports, the 13 Academy, ABC Mystic, your representatives from MYSG, followed by Team VD as well as Veni. I mean, the VVV clan as a whole should be really proud of the performance of all three of these teams managing to make it up to the top. I mean, it's great to have one team be a part of the top 16 teams within the Garena MSP, but to have three of your squads,
Yeah.
three of your main squads representing and being capable of making it up to this place is just truly phenomenal. And of course, you've also got Existence Valhalla. These are the teams that made it through from the semi-finals. One, Neptune.
Coming from semifinals two, we have Vagabonds Nomads has been pointing out have been dominating in the semifinals two, followed by their brothers from Vagabonds Esports. NRX 420 is in there on the 11th spot. We have Almighty Prime on number 12. We have HE Phoenix on 13, SAPH General on 14. Easy Reborn Esports Magna in 15, and completing the list of the qualified teams, we have the Royal Kings right there and number 16. And all these teams right now are ready to fight it on for day number 2. As we look at the leaderboard later on, we're going to see as to how they perform from day number 1. But it is
Yeah.
really evident, AJ. We have been talking about it from the start of the game, wherein Vagabonds Esports was able to get that much point to be
Mm.
able to outmatch everyone from day number 1.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. And this is where we talk about strategy. This is where we talk about supremacy, because when you are talking about the three-peat champions, when you are talking about the kings of Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale, you need to look at their performance at the finals, not at the semis, because once again, they weren't hungry at all at the semifinals. All they needed to do was to get the top eight, and they can get the top eight by sleeping all throughout all of their lobbies, and they'll still manage to qualify through. And at the finals, where things truly matter, not only do they outclass every single team in terms of kills, but they outclass, they outdo, they outperform each and every single squad out there by grabbing 51 placement points. 1 point came from one of those rounds where they truly did bomb out, but grabbing 5 of those number one spots, mind blown, Neptune. That's what I am. I am absolutely mind blown by the achievement of Vagabonds Esports on day number one. And just like what we saw the Four Kings do, man, day number one
Mhm.
breakout run, they just needed to sustain an average sort of performance, and nobody still could catch up with them. Vagabonds Esports now might be in the exact same spot.
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing that we've seen so far from other teams who went in from from the bottom of the list and then move in there on the top, and how they will going to play it out this time will really matter. So far,
Yeah.
this is the first round of day number two of the finals for the Garena Survivors, and the flight is on. The team is ready to go into battle. As they go in from that plane, we're going to see some of the tactics that have been shown. If they have read all those drop spots, they might want to go in for the early
Oh.
engagement if they want to catch up. But I think on the top right there, we have a Heat who will be heated as the
Mm.
teams are jumping in, and two teams will be in there. It is coming from Team Nomads as well as NRX 420.
I'm just laughing because I'm looking at the bottom part of the map. Alatsky strikes again. He steals yet another chopper. The number of choppers that Alatsky has stolen so far, we need to make a highlight clip of that, man. The guy is just an absolute GTA specialist. But of course, Esir will go in for a quick engagement and then quickly disengage as well, because he is not fully prepared for a gunfight out there. And the one thing that the Vagabonds Nomads cannot risk is an early engagement, and of course, losing one too many players that they cannot afford. And out there, you can also see NRX 420 with those warning shots released by the players of Vagabonds Nomads. SCR specifically, they go ahead and reposition and back away from this compound. But here comes SCR on for the chase. This is truly surprising now, because although he doesn't have much on him, he just walks straight into the lion's den. But NRX 420, they don't take advantage. Travis dropped down onto the ground. Wonder Kid Boji, as there now gets caught out. Boji spots him as well. Peanut from the back. Everybody try to surround this space, and Kape catches him out. Boji's still there. Boji doesn't turn around, but 2v1, and Esir makes a big mistake. Kintaro shuts him down. Pox takes Kintaro out of the equation. Boji taken out of the equation as well. And Vagabonds Nomads, they strike hard. And NRX 420, the question is, are they still alive? And unfortunately, that answer will have to be no, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, the final member of the team of NRX 420, that was a Peanut in there who had a great potential to go in for the takedown. But because of the approach of Vagabonds Nomads, that made it look like that they are in a disadvantage. Only two rush in. One has been taken down early, and then Ezra jumped in there a little bit too late, and the rest of the teams were just waiting for their chance to go in for the kill. Thus, when Peanut is the only one who will be gunning them down, then they have been in there on the pinch. Thus, NRX 420 has lost the opportunity to move back up onto the leaderboards with that early loss.
Yeah, let's see what else they can bring out here now. And when we look at the Four Kings, on the other hand, they will not be disturbed at all in their compound, free to go on and loot. Alatsky breaking away from the rest of them, checking out the aerial platform, will find that nobody is here and it's all open for the loot. So the Four Kings are going to be stacked from the early get-go here, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, going into Estate and then Alatsky stealing the chopper right there will be able to get more information, to be able to find out who is in that place. But the platformer gameplay from Alatsky, I think they've read through that no one has been jumping in the platform just yet. Easy Reborn, on the other hand, has maintained their position right now. Not quite sure what they're waiting for, but Jaeger right here is just standing by. waiting for the knock onto their doors and also for the enemy to jump in. And so far, guys, this will be a little bit slow because tactics are still, or new tactics are being read by this team right now. And how will this work into this game? But on the other side, we have a VVV Paul taking down Vagabonds Pogs. And we'll have to see how Vagabonds Nomads will be able to fight back in this battle because they've just ended one of the team right here. So if they will be taken down early into this game, it would not really matter how much they take in the early part, but how they survive, that is the question. ABC Mystic, on the other hand, still on the downtown with Chopper in hand. They will need to go in and regroup as well as to get as much loot as possible to prepare for the fight because so far they are not performing that much in this finals. And as we see, our metaverse right now, they have a visitor from SDPH. But launch base right now, Rald had good visibility on them. Watts will be stuck in the bottom, and we'll just have to wait for any gunshots coming from this team.
Yeah, fantastic movements coming through from Amethyst Esports, taking the high ground, making sure they've got that extra bit of information to take advantage of this position and shut down the players of SDPH. But SDPH very quickly now finding a little bit of cover for themselves as well, not really stepping out of some of their defensive positions here. Watts taking a risky push towards the rest of the players of SDPH. He is the ninja, and he can stay silent, but if he does get spotted, that might just be the end. Tries to maintain the high ground composure. Narosa sticking together with him. This duo now moving on in for the shutdown onto SDPH. As you can see, Bree already on that high ground, backing away. Watts, on the other hand, trying to pull the left-hand flank. Will catch Breezy, but Trigger Discipline will make sure Watts does not pop off just yet. But now Bubbles right in front of Watts. Watts with the very careful approach here. Bubbles has been spotted. Watts still with the Trigger Discipline and finally strikes, and Watts manages to get one, but Bree trades him out. Amazing stuff coming through from SDPH to manage Amethyst Esports. But Narosa on for the move right now to back up the one and only Watts. Will he get the pickup or will he shut down Bree? It's all left in the balance here as Rald will have an opportunity to catch Breeze out, but he prones on the grass, getting that extra bit of cover. Rald doesn't spot him. Supreme plays by SDPH Neptune.
Yep, but Timothy right now is in there going in for that knockdown, and Metaverse is still a four-man team. They need to recover their armor right now, otherwise they might be hit hard by SDPH. But SDPH still maintaining the cover of that ledge and will be slowly backing down from this fight. But the shots right now into Breezy, and there goes Scallyway being hit by Rald, and Rald will not be able to take them down. But with that final hit, there goes Rald for the hit against Calibe, and one more team will be taken out. And exactly in this moment, they still have an airdrop on them. And I think another team will be coming in, and this is the Almighty from up high.
Oh, and Almighty now. They are on the approach very slowly, but their main intention is to grab that gunsmith guns from the pink little airdrop there, as you can see, and they will go ahead to do exactly that. Almighty Prime, they will go ahead to strike first, but Amethyst Esports, they want that airdrop as well. They're not going to be able to get anywhere near it just yet. Tokyo, on the other hand, FHJ for the strike, and the players of E-Phoenix need to abandon the vehicle as they reposition. It will be the Antelope play now for the players of Four Kings, so a little bit of extra firepower from that railgun on the vehicle as they encounter teams in a little bit. But Amethyst Esports will be forced away from that airdrop as another squad, I have to say, the Royal Kings drops by to check out Almighty Prime as they pull away all of those loots. That encounter is not going to be all too easy for the Royal Kings, as Almighty, they know exactly what's happening. But here comes VVV, Team Vici as well. This is turning out to be a party. Everybody wants their gunsmith guns, man.
Yeah, I mean, that is what the airdrop is doing for the teams right now. Yeah, they have been hang back in there on that early approach on the drops, but the airdrop you will usually pull in these teams. And Royal Kings right now on the high ground might be seeing a different team as well on the other side. It is VVV Vici, but they will try to fire and also go in on the other side for them not to be taken down that easily. They need to get a better approach not to be taken out or being gunned down by a lot of teams because they've seen the perspective of this game. They have a lot of enemies on this area already and they don't want to risk it. But the teams who is also not risking it is Vagabonds Esports. They're getting the information and quickly getting away and getting a better position. And this is what we've seen so far. This is what we've seen so far from Vagabonds Esports. They don't go in there carelessly. They go in a tactical manner. If they, just in case they don't have a good position, back away and then wait for what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 13 Academy. Tom peeps now very slowly as he tries to find a position on the high ground, as also functioning as the lookout for the 13 Academy, trying to scout the area first to make sure they do not get backstabbed as they take this high ground position. And this is an all clear coming through from the player as the rest of them now try to continuously move around. And they want to secure this, but they've done that for themselves. So nothing more to worry about outside of the zone they play this, though. They only have 17 seconds now to reposition themselves. So a curious play coming through from the 13 Academy as they very carefully moved from compound to compound, sticking to the edge of the zone, nephew.
Yeah, and I think they're going for a different approach just to make sure that they have what it takes to be able to get into surviving in the final moments of this game. But speaking of survival, we have Easy Reborn who have been staying in this area. They haven't really left, and Royal Kings has already sensed their presence and also planning an approach on this compound. How much will they be able to put out? That will still have to be seen. But on the other side, we have Vagabonds Esports. Blue was able to go in for yet another sniper kill, but this time they are going in on the other side. And Nash will be able to rewind to escape that fight. And Yato will be going in for the follow-up. And Yanara will be taken down.
That is where the rewind class comes in, absolutely useful. But you gotta be like the players of Vagabonds Esports. You gotta continuously move out there on the battlefield so that it will confuse the heck out of your enemies. And now here comes Amateurs Esports with the opportunity to shut down the King of Kings of Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale. Amateurs Esports have been one of those squads who have been aiming for the throne of Vagabonds Esports for the longest of time now, but they have not been able to strike. They have not been able to execute the Kings. They have not been able to affect them in any way whatsoever. And even in this encounter, unfortunately, we will not see that battle happening. Just like how Vagabonds Esports was super careful in the semifinals too, where they continuously reposition and look for better ground before they engage. Amateurs Esports have taken a page out of their books. They do not want to hop into a careless battle, nephew.
Yeah, I mean, so far they've done well in the first round of yesterday, but on the succeeding round, they have maintained number 7 in the spot. But this time, VV Secret was able to take down Dustin, and it's about time that Easy Reborn was able to pull out from that area, but it's a little bit too late because a lot of teams has already been waiting for them, and that is VVV right now, who might have some unexpected visitor from Easy Reborn from behind, and we'll have to see how will this end on this game. Vagabonds Nomads is also a little bit too close from that gunfight, and we'll see how well will they be able to approach this. Aggressiveness is what's expected from them, especially with that fight of NRX 420. So how much aggressiveness can they pull in? That is a question for this team.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. Because if you look at Vagabonds Nomads right now, their performance in the competition isn't anything to shout about. They sit currently in the 12th spot with 17 kills only from 6 matches yesterday, which is ridiculous if you ask me, Neptune, in comparison to their breakout performance at semifinals too. I don't know what's going on with the Nomads, but they need to step it up, because right now, the only ones who are keeping the name of Vagabonds alive as well as proud is the Vagabonds Esports, the current King of Kings. Just when you thought that their little brothers would be able to oust them, outdo them at the grand finals, they bomb out. But that was just day number 1. Hopefully, they can find their ground. They can find their footing in here today. Vagabonds Nomads, they showed us a lot of promise, but so did Almighty Prime. But Quasi gets nailed to the ground as the players of VVV now go in for the attack. But it will be ABC moving on in here as well. The MYSG representative as they engage with a key Phoenix Sucre from across up top. Ooh. Oh my lord, Chelop gets caught out by the Merc, who brings in the PPSH for the play.
And here we go, the good flank coming in from HE Phoenix, pulling out on this, pulling back ABC Mystic into this hill, and there goes Merc and Sucre for a double team, and they are now going in for the chase against Rogue and only a few HP, but no, Merc beats Assassin to it, but there goes yet another team, HE Phoenix going in on 4 kills, but how much more can they survive, because Vagabonds Nomads was on their way on the edge of safe zone, they have nowhere to run.
Nowhere to run, but can they fire back? He Phoenix up in the chopper right now. Bird's eye view to give that information right back to their brothers who are down at the lower ground. And the information they give is please reposition. Please get away from there. Just way too many players out there for the slay. And as you can see, E Phoenix, they take that advice and they reposition. The players will move outside of the circle and take the risky maneuver to pull the very long rotation in towards the safer zones on the other side of the map. And that's exactly what you can see on the left-hand side of the minimap as well, as the two players in the chopper will catch up with the rest of the players on the side of He Phoenix. But now, Four Kings, that engagement with Vagabond Snowman's just a little too sweet. But Travis now drops Alatsky as the Four Kings initially came in here for the engagement. Vagabond Snowman have been put in a position where they can shut all of them down. Virus with the bird's eye view. Esir shuts down Tokyo, and Virus is going to finish him off. It will be the players of Vagabond Snowman's now that rage on. Four Kings seem to have nothing on this team. They have woken up today, Neptune.
Yeah, hopefully they're not putting such dependency on Alatsky, because Alatsky has been taken down in there. Though Tokyo has put up a fight with two members just waiting up on him. There is a little bit chance in there for them to be able to survive. But as the zone closes in, there's a few members from Four Kings to be able to get those dog tags, but meeting up with other teams also in this area will make it a little bit more difficult. We have a Metaverse in there on the other side, and how they survive we'll have to see as we go in. HE Phoenix once again going in for the fight, and this time this is VVV, and VVV Vici right now is into play as they go in take HE one at a time.
Yeah, this is a potential full wipeout here, on the Four Kings. And just when I thought that Kyun is still alive and kicking out there on the battlefield, Vagabond Snowmans, they haven't taken out all of the players just yet. And Kyun will hold on to the high ground and position himself well. He's not going to let go of that just yet. And he stays away from all of the engagements. Almighty Prime on the other hand. Vagabond Snowmans, Travis has been lost. Kyun with the final second strike. And he injures the players of Vagabond Snowmans, but he gets traded out. And that is going to be Tokyo taken out of the equation as well. Fright just came back in, and the zone takes him out of the equation. Just when you thought the Four Kings were out, they made their way back in, but immediately right back out.
Yeah, I mean, and that is the risk of going in from the revive flight. The chute will be in, or the parachute will be in there, will be sighted by the team, and I thought it is a good distraction as a battle is happening right here. Alatsky was able to take down the Rosa from this engagement, thus we only have 3 members from a Metaverse right now. And a good play by Timothy right here, taking out all those traps as well as blinding all of those people. But we'll have to see. Timothy was damaged with that grenade, and a good grenade indeed, and I think that is coming from 13 Academy. But on the behind, we have Vagabond Snowman, so they will be stuck in a pinch right now. A Metaverse will have to think a way out.
How? How are the Four Kings still alive? How are they surviving this ordeal? The Four Kings, impressive maneuver, still alive and kicking. The baby dinosaurs were taken out very early in this lobby. But the Four Kings, on the other hand, they want to rage on. They want to find that victory for themselves. But at Crash, everything comes crashing down as a little bit of the maneuvers out there seems to be failing. With only 2 players now left on the side of the Four Kings, things are getting a little heated out there. And now one player outside of the zone, and Fright gets taken out by it. One final player on the side of Four Kings will need to play the game of survival, pick up as many points as possible from the placements. Amethyst Esports, on the other hand, only without their in-game leader, Narosa. Timothy, from the bottom here, takes on 13 Academy, but 13 Academy with the pincer maneuver, attacks from the top and bottom. And Amethyst Esports now, they struggle with just 2 players.
Going in on to the next phase of the safe zone. A lot of teams are just scrambling to get in one, and Almighty will be at the top. But here comes the Academy once again being pinched. Is a Metaverse Esports. The 2 members in here from Metaverse Esports need to get an exit approach in this battle. Otherwise, they will be taken down by a lot of teams who are surrounding them. We have 13 Academy in there who will be able to take this compound as they recover, and as they regroup and recover their armor, they will be gunned down in there from behind. And that is Virus right now, spreading the virus and the love into this team. But Vlad will be able to keep his distance, as VVV will take the high ground to be able to spot anyone. And smart move for VVV right now, not really going into the engagement and just getting information and waiting for the next safe zone to close.
The same thing can be said for Almighty Prime, who are holding on to an even higher ground in comparison to Team G here. This is the one and only BBB Esports Veni. But now, as the zone will close in another 5 seconds, Jesuo is going to be pressured. He needs to reposition, but he's busy trying to look for a kill. Hopefully that does not play up against him. The zone now starts moving. Jesuo is going to be pressured. Almighty Prime might be able to take advantage of the situation, but Jesuo instead tries to catch them. Very risky plays being attempted by Jesuo. Blue shuts down Existence Yanara. It is going to still be Vagabonds Esports to appear in that final circle. Chibi, amazing rewind played by him, and he gets out of there before he can get taken down. Almighty Prime Dre shuts down Jesuo. Jesuo, who moved a little bit too late. The players of Team Many earlier on had the opportunity to reposition, but they give away such easy kills to Almighty Prime. And Prime now still holding on to that high ground, spraying through the smoke. And the smoke bomber Dre will go ahead to strike. Can Ad survive this? The answer is no, as Dre picks up yet another kill.
Good positioning for the team of Almighty right now, as they have stayed on top of this game, and with 4 team members in here, they can easily go in against Existence. Existence, Zabi and Debo will be taken down, and we are now left with 1 member right here. And let's see, no, it's Blue, the only one we're surviving for this game. Vagabonds Esports is not down just yet and denying them of that 1 point. And still a good play for Vagabonds Esports, but this time, Almighty Prime was able to show them that they are the almighty team for this round.
And Almighty Prime with... This is why, once again, Neptune, we have to stress on the importance of positioning your team well so that you have all of the information out there on the battlefield. It's not about how many kills that you can take, because we saw the players earlier on from the side of BBV, Jesuo especially, they had an opportunity to reposition already. They had quite a high ground. They had the information, but instead of using all of the extra time that they had, Neptune, they just chose to go in for kills. Almighty Prime, on the other hand, they just stood up there and they watched. And only when the circle started closing on in, they already knew where they wanted to move on into, and they played that to perfection. And that smoke bomb that was popped out, that was just absolute solid of a play from up top, high ground. All they needed to do was just shoot fish in a barrel, buddy.
Yeah, I think it all matters, as well as the confidence that they have to take a distance and take those shots, because some of the teams really are more impressive on a close quarter battle. And compared to some of the teams who are taking advantage of the long distance as well as the high ground with the sniper and the ARs, they can stay in there for as long as they want, and they can get as much kills as what we're looking at right now. Almighty Prime was able to get 12 kills plus additional 10 points for the placement, thus 22 points to their name. On this side of, on number 2, we have Vagabonds Esports, who really didn't do that much on the kills, but it's a gameplay of a chance. If in play your chance has been reduced because of the number of members that you have, you will go for the placement, and that is what Vagabond Esports did.
And Vagabonds Esports just continue to focus on their strategy, but this time there's not a lot of kills on their side, which is quite a curious one. They didn't really get super aggressive out there on the battlefield. Existence, on the other hand, tried to exist as long as possible out there, but it obviously came with a price. They were just purely focusing on the placement points without focusing on picking up those skills on the way in. And that's going to hurt them overall, because this is the kind of lobby where you cannot just purely focus for your placement points. Only the other teams will definitely leave you in the dust. Speaking of teams leaving you in the dust, if you look down at team number 7 in here, it is your team Veni from VVV Esports. Just with their performance of picking up 6 kills alone in here, they've already managed to oust Team Existence from their 3rd spot and do better than them. And that's exactly how important the kill points are in this competition. 13 Academy with the 5th spot in, with alongside 4 points. And the 4 Kings, who had a tremendous run earlier on, picking up kill after kill, only managed to move into the 6th spot with a total of 8 kills to their name. Vagabonds Nomads, on the other hand, they continue their winning ways through all of those gunfights. But when you take a risky fight, unlike the brothers Vagabonds Esports, who always focus on strategy and not gunfights, you have a huge potential of bombing out early. Seventh position, they do take for themselves. There's still a couple of placement points there, but also the kill points that they managed to amass for themselves is truly phenomenal. A total of 11 kills here, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, we pointed out the importance of kills in this game because of the number of placement point that you can get within one round. But it's I think it's more of how hand in hand it will work,
Mm,
because the number of kills that you will get will ensure that you will get high placement point as well.
yeah,
But that is in case you will be able to eliminate a team. But if you don't, and you just got take those kills, wait for them to revive, you might be gunned down later on, because all those engagements, especially on that final moment, if I'm not mistaken, that was 11 teams battling on that fifth, say on that fifth phase. So a lot of engagement will be happening, and all the gunshots will be targeted for those who have good information already. And
yeah,
that is what Almighty Prime has taken
mm,
advantage. And for those aggressive team like Vagabond Snowmans and Four Kings, who when start on in there, lose some of their members. So very, very difficult to go in and creep slowly onto the final stretch for them to
yeah,
be able to recover from those fights. But going in here on number 8, we have all Metaverse Esports was able to bag 5 kills in this game. Some tactics that they have wherein they will be able to take advantage of their position. They didn't really pop off. They waited
yeah,
and they pulled back, thus not that much on the kills from their side. On number 9, we have yet another team of VVV. This is VVVVD with only
mm,
2 kills from Kaser, and the number 9 spot is not a good position for them to be able to get as much point as they need to move up. And the same goes for the placement of yet another VVV team, but this time they were able to recover on the kills, and that they have a 7 kills to their name. So a
yeah.
complete contrast compared to
Mm.
their brothers.
And this is exactly why we say, yes, the placements, yes, the positionings are going to be very important, but it'll only be important to make the difference at the very top of the leaderboard. But the aggressive kills still need to be picked up, because those are the points that will be very, very rewarding at the end of the day. And we all saw exactly how the Four Kings as well as Vagabond Nomads used that to their advantage. He Phoenix, on the other hand, bombing out at the 11th spot, no placement points from the 9th position onwards, so obviously none for them here, but 5 through those skills. ABC Mystic, they continue struggling. MYSG, they were representing the MYSG scene amazingly well in the semifinals too, but at the finals, just like a lot of other teams here, they continue to struggle. Easy Reborn Esports Magna, 13th spot, alongside 4 points to their name from those skills. But Royal Kings as well as STPH bag nothing. NRX 420, this was the very surprising engagement. Talk to me a little bit, Neptune. You've already gone in there, you've researched all of their drop spots. Who made the mistake here, man?
Yeah, for the drop spot of NRX 420, they usually go on downtown on this area, but I think they are going in for the chase on the points. Thus, they want to go against a different squad, and
Mm,
it's very, very good if they would be able to pull it off. But with
yeah.
that approach they've done so far, I mean, it's because of familiarity of the map. If
Mm,
one team has already been dropping in there early on onto the
yeah.
grand finals, and they have a specific rotation into the game, it's very difficult to go against that, wherein you're the intruders who don't have pretty much that much of an idea of the terrain on
Yeah.
how you can go for the approach as well as for the exit. And I think that is where they failed at that point.
Yeah, but that's the surprising thing, because you're talking about NRX 420. All of the players on the side of NRX 420 play Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale every single day, man. I mean,
Mhm.
they clearly have dropped into that compound many a times. Heat is no new spot that was introduced into the battle. So the repositioning there, I kind of felt like it was okay. They dropped in, they hot dropped a squad, they wanted to loot up, they couldn't find enough of those loots. And that's exactly where the hot drops becomes a little risky, because it's sometimes a 50-50, but a lot of it is left up to luck in terms of what sort of guns you find out there,
Mhm.
if you even find guns, because sometimes you just go running and running and running around the compound, not even being able to pick up a single one of your favorite guns. And, it will go ahead to hurt you. But in that instance, we also saw how Boji was so busy looking outside of the window And the player that was aggressing on all of them, the players that came in for the initial ambush, was not caught out at all. If Boji had turned around and taken him out of the equation, it would have been a 2v1. And not only would have NRX 420 won that battle, they would have been able to pick up 4 easy points and then move on. So, interesting approach to the early engagement, but the
Mhm.
execution was just unfortunately bad. And Almighty Prime, on the other hand, the execution, the positioning, and all of the decisions made throughout that whole matchup, absolutely stellar. This is a team that has got the capability of continuously rising up the leaderboards here. When we started the day, they were sitting down in the third spot, I believe. And sorry, in the fourth spot. And now they've already managed to climb up a little bit more. And I believe they are not going to pause anytime soon, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean there is no pausing right now because they're day number 2 and a lot of teams needs to catch up. But for
Yes.
those of you who aren't here, hopefully you're not pausing this stream because a lot of you guys are appreciated right here. A lot of support has been put in there by the community, and because of that, we are giving away yet another rare wish code for you. And there you have it. You have it on the screen right now. No, that's a calling card code right there. It's a freeload calling card. So a lot of support in here from the community and especially from the content creators. Once again, I'd like to give a big shout out to Laran si Juan. That's Aizen right there, one of
Yeah.
the youngest content creator for the COD community. From the COD community, and a big shout out to you. Thank you very much for all the support, as well as other content creator who has been in there hanging by and also showing up in the comment session, as well as making this party, this watch
Yeah.
party, a little bit more interesting for everyone.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, all of the content creators enjoying all of the broadcasts from Garena Survivors because, just like us, Neptune, they have all been Battle Royale mains and they've been waiting for this day, right? The whole of COD community is so excited with Garena Survivors being a thing now. And this is just the start, guys. This is the very first Garena Survivors. We've got so much more planned for the Call of Duty mobile esports scene, and you guys will be able to lap it all up in the coming months. We're going to take a quick short break here. When we come back, round number 2 commences. Let's see if Vagabonds Esports can go back to grabbing that number 1 spot.
Oh, ano ng plano mga lods? Last 2 squads na lang.
Basta high ground lang ako, Ate Char. Cover ko kayo. Sige, sunod lang ako sa inyo.
Ha? Wait lang. Nasaan na ba kayo? Ang gulo-gulo niyo naman eh. Si Bugoy ang layo. Tapos si IZ walang ambag. Tapos ito naman si Doxy, hindi niya nga alam kung ano nangyayari.
Wala lang, kaya natin to. Oh, ayun yung last code ah.
Down 3 na, isa na lang.
Guys, nasaan yung last? Ay, hassle. Nasa likod ko pala. Last sniper sa ako. Ingat kayo.
Doxy, ikaw na lang last survivor natin.
Oo, kaya mo yan.
Guys, di ko alam kung nasan siya.
Kami bahala. Sasabihin namin kung nandiyan na siya. Kaya mo yan. Ang biho nila.
Natawan ko siya. Guys, nanalo tayo!
Yes! Yun! Doxy, grabe. Ang galing mo, Doko.
Yun, nanalo rin.
O ano guys? Isa pa?
Welcome back to the Garena Survivors Finals, day number 2, where we've seen Almighty take that round number 1 when we thought a lot of teams are in here who will be dominating this game. Almighty Prime still remains supreme in there and taking round number 1 with their supreme and their prime positioning as well as their great tactics in this game. How long will they be able to maintain this? That will be left to the questions for the other teams gunning them down. We are your
Yeah.
casters and hosts for today. I am Neptune the Gentleman Garcia. Together with me is the voice of Garena Call of Duty Mobile, the Mustacho AJ, bringing you the action on your screen.
A lot happened in that first circle there because it was not just about positioning. It was not just about all of the decision making, but I mean, it was all about the decision making. But one key highlight was also the use of their classes, right? I mean, we
Mhm.
see people just spamming that smoke bomb nonstop as soon as they get that opportunity, as soon as they spot a player out there. But we did notice Almighty Prime, on the other hand, they timed that smoke bomb as that final circle was coming in there for the close. And that was one of the biggest winning factors for them because not only did that smoke bomb obscure so much of the vision for the people who were on the lower ground, but it was also a open killing field for that smoke bomb on the side of Almighty Prime. Amazing strategy, executed perfectly as well. But Almighty Prime, they need to keep a steady hold on that one victory and use that as the perfect adrenaline pump to continue grabbing a few more. Because Vagabonds Esports, man, just like how we saw them falter in one single round yesterday, I think they've got a lot more in the canister to pump out today, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, Vagabonds Esports still has to prove that they, well, I don't know if they still has to prove, but they've already proven that on
Yes.
day number 1 already. It's just a matter of consistency and
Yeah,
maintaining the lead that they have.
correct.
So
Yes.
much more. Almighty was able to get that much points, but it really doesn't match up
Yep.
yet to what Vagabonds Esports has
Oh,
already
yeah.
made and has been doing all throughout. Because so far
Mm,
as we look at the leaderboards right now, apart from them not getting that number 1 spot, they still was able to get a decent amount of points from that game, thus increasing their points from 126 as we start this day to 137 right now. And on the other hand, the Four Kings only got 10 points from that game. So I think the position gameplay and survivability really comes into play because they were taken out in their mid game of the engagement. And
yeah.
with that comes into play with only one member or two members just waiting for their teammates from the revive flight will not look good on how they approach this game because they have
Yeah.
been aggressive if all their artillery are complete but having less weaponry in that game it really
Mm.
damages their performance.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I do not disagree with you at all, Neptune. But, look at exactly what Almighty Prime is focusing on in here with those positioning, with those placement points. They are able to catch up with the Four Kings, in fact, do much better than them. But they will continue to struggle if that's the only part they are going to excel on because the Four Kings still have got a huge lead here in terms of getting those kills executed out there on the battlefield. 20 kills more than Almighty Prime. And it doesn't seem like the Four Kings will be slowing down anytime soon. 13 Academy in the fourth place, but very close to overtaking Almighty Prime. We saw how close they were even as we started off the day. And 13 Academy is not going to be putting or pulling his foot off the gas pedal anytime soon. Teams Vici as well as VD, they stick together in the fifth and sixth spot, but quite a bit of points between them, 71 to 59. Amethyst Esports, on the other hand, with the seventh placement down with the 51 points. Vagabonds Nomads, this is such a steep drop in comparison to Amethyst Esports and where they stand. Only 35 points. And this is the shocker, Neptune. I mean,
Yeah.
not only is Vagabonds Nomads not hitting hard like they did in semifinals too, but I I don't know, man. This is just such a different performance. It's ridiculous as to how they're performing in here. After dominating, they outperformed not a single team. They even outperformed the King of Kings, and they
Mhm.
outperformed everybody else. But here they are in the eighth spot, 7 placement points and 28 kills. There's something wrong here, Neptune.
Yeah, I think like especially in the start of this day, they have been
Mm,
aggressive as we expect them to be, taking out NRX 420 in that fight and then going in for the battle after battle later on. But I think the aggressiveness is already expected by some of the teams right now, and all team approach are being countered by a better position as well as a good exit plan or exit strategy by the some of the teams. Thus, they might not be able to capitalize on the aggressiveness and the early
yeah.
kills that they can do. So it's just a matter of time wherein, yes, you will get a kill on certain point of the map, but later on, because of the aggression, because of the kill feed showing your name in there, and as well as the gunshots being heard at your direction, all the other teams have to do is just wait for them to move into their direction and then shoot them down. And if they
Yeah.
cannot get away from that battle, thus they will be taken out early in those games.
Alatsky once again strikes with a quick chopper steal at the very start of the matchup, and he will be catching up with the rest of his team members. And this is one of the strategies, most definitely one of the winning strategies of the Four Kings. When you move into Blackout, if you do not have a vehicle on your side to reposition on such a huge map out there, you are going to end up hurting your own performance. And with the essential airdrop so important in these games, you want to be the first one to reach that. But Phoenix, will they even be able to get to their first airdrop in here, or will they get taken out of the equation by Easy Reborn Esports Magna, who managed to strike first? Next needs to recover a little bit of his armor out there alongside Dustin, but Easy Reborn, they're doing well so far, and Spinks drops Merc as well. Phoenix continues to struggle against Easy Reborn Esports Magna.
Yeah, I mean, this only proves to show that some teams have done their homework as a drop points of the other teams, but how well will they be able to survive on those battles against who have taken over their reign on the spot is yet to be questioned, because so far Easy Reborn has maintained their position in this area of the estates, and the ones knocking into the door is HE Phoenix. HE Phoenix, on the other hand, thought that they can vulture on these teams who have been on the same spot as they are, or those who want they want to really stay low onto the leaderboards. No, they cannot do it. It's more of a positioning that they have. But ABC Mystic right now, also a team who has done their homework. Initially, they started the jumping into the estate, but they kept their distance right now. After hearing those gunshots, waiting for the other team to recover, they took advantage of that, this getting one kill. And I think Easy Reborn will be pushed out of the way because ABC Mystic really knows how to get this approach. Now, it's just up to them to be able to survive this battle, because those running away might be beating up, and who will survive? It might be one or might be none.
It might just be none, man, for the side of Phoenix, as Easy Reborn Esports Magna continues striking them down. But they evacuate their position as ABC Mystic now catches up with them due from the back. No snowboard, so they're not going to be able to catch Destin anytime soon. And this is exactly where people will start missing out all of those loots in the initial stages. You really need to have the extra vehicle on your side, no matter what, in order to be able to, manage some of the distance that the teams put between you and themselves at this blackout map. And obviously you want to be able to grab those vehicles, just like what the players of Four Kings always find in the start of those matches. The chopper will bring them quite far. But ABC Mystic, they don't pause. They continue hunting down Dustin, who tries to slip and slide, avoiding those shots too far. Oh my lord, so close to taking him down, and Dustin gets away. No armor whatsoever on Dustin. He needs to hop on in, but ABC Prime, they're already, ABC Mystic, my apologies, are already at this position. Rogue just needs to turn around. He makes one mistake, but Dustin was just a little too low on his HP. Dustin gets taken out of the equation.
Yeah, I mean, Dustin is in there. I think he was just buying time for the rest of the teams to come back, and this might be a chance for them, because so far we have one team only eliminated, and if I'm not mistaken, that's HE Phoenix. But this time, here comes them. A Metaverse knocking into the doors of ABC Mystic. They are not prepared for this because they tried to go in for the chase unarmed for that battle, and Watts right now is in there gunning them down from a distance, and approach with a remaining member of a Metaverse right now will be proven to be difficult to be getting away, as the Rosa takes down Prime and Jew all at the same time, and the rest of the teams are still on the hunt against one, and Chandler jumping in from the roof will be taken down. Rogue is out as well, and ABC Mystic will be out of this game.
Amethyst Esports strikes again. My, oh my, the aggression out there. I mean, ABC Mystic, they were hunting down one player from the side of He Phoenix, but Amethyst Esports, they spotted an opportunity for 4 kill points. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. They grab it. Thank you very much, and continue moving on. But one dog tag out there on the battlefield. Who was that one from? Could it be from He Phoenix, Nephew?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, He Phoenix has been taken down. The
Yeah.
first one that we've seen, or the next one that we've seen, is Easy Reborn, and I think because of the time chasing them down, giving them a chance to go for the escape, I think they will be coming back in this play. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see later on. It looks green, so we'll have to see later which of the team has a green color on them as we go in right now. Almighty going against Royal Kings. Who will be taking the win in this engagement, or if will this engagement continue, because another team will also be jumping into the fray, and it is not looking good for them. Here comes VVV right now, just trying to run away with those vehicles, and I think they will not be turning back that quickly unless they can regroup and also get information on the enemy.
And let's see what sort of information they can pull off here, and how will they make use of that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, do not forget to hit that like, hit that share as well. This is the second day of finals, and all of the teams out there need your support. They need your love. The more the views they see out there, the more the cheers they see in the comment section, the more pumped up they get. So do you want your team to win? If you do, what are you waiting for, man? Pump them with all of the adrenaline through the views. A little bit of bumper guy action coming through from the players of Vagabond Esports. But now they have gone out. Team VG, one quick knock is not gonna be able to take out the players from VG just yet, but they're going on through, and yes, it will be Luki for the strike as Sato gets gunned down. The rest of the players from the side of Team VVV Esports VG now finding this compound. Sekre sitting down all alone. Nash moves in for the shutdown, but Sekre brings a knife to the gut fight, and he throws the smoke out. Smoked out all in there, and Sekre still gets taken out of the equation. Yato for the strike. This is Vagabonds Esports yet again.
The smoke is in there is enough to confuse all 4 members of Vagabonds Esports, but they will not stop for any gunshots in that game.
Yep.
And I think with that play as well, it's still a little bit favorable for the team of VVV, because it has left one of their teammates to be able to survive. How long? That is a question, because so far, because Vagabonds Esports usually look for potential prey or remaining members on the surrounding area, they might be spotting out that one last member. That is what we'll have to see on how quiet, as well as how will that remaining member exit this fight against that team of Vagabonds Esports.
Yeah, here comes the one and only team Veni now. Yet another VVV squad as they take on SDPH. Smoke Bomber has dropped that smoke already. I believe that is courtesy of Kalibe. Green now, a quick drive-by, but he won't be able to take anyone out of the equation. Repositions himself to take the backstab, and he might just be able to play the best position against the players of VVV. But Vagabond Snowmans now very quickly approaching the situation as well, and this chaos has just turned out to be pandemonium. Vagabond Snowmans, they are the ones who back the kills back to back. Virus strikes down Bubbles, but Ezir gets taken down by Ad. It will be the Fennec for the pop, but Virus hops on in, will be able to secure one for himself. Breezy with a great nade onto Duda, and SDPH are not helping out Team VVV. Instead, they're helping out Vagabond Snowman. They need to take down the Supreme Ones, but the Supreme Ones run the show, and just like that, they've taken over this compound, Neptune.
Yeah, Shooter Dice will not be shooting that anymore, because they will be retreating from that fight. And it's a smart move, I would say, for SDPH, because they're knowing that there will be a different team trying to gun them down later on. Even if they take down the team of VVV, it will be very difficult for them to get that much on the placement. So pulling out, and we'll try to get those dog tags and then recover later on into a different part of the map. That is a plan right now. It's a good move by Mr. Bree right here, coming in from the other side of that area and getting the dog tags with 13 seconds, enough time for him to go for the scan and bring back their teammates. Thus, 4-man team for SDPH still left alive.
SDPH now breezy. Let's see if they can continue remaining alive in here as Bubbles gets brought back into the mix, and SDPH will be allowed to rage on that battlefield. But how much can they pull away for themselves, of course, is the question, because SDPH overall, they haven't had the of runs in terms of collecting points out there on the battlefield. Definitely, just a little bit nerfed in their engagement capability once they jumped into the finals here. The supreme teams from both the semis kind of pressuring them a little bit too much. But the 13 Academy, on the other hand, they bring in those consistent plays. They can manage themselves out there on the battlefield, be it with the placements or with those kill points, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, 13 Academy so far, what they've done all throughout the semifinals is they get a good position, especially in the north, from what we've seen some of the top teams are doing. And then as they move slowly, that's where they get their kills and then position themselves at a better spot as they go in a third base as well as a fourth base, but they prioritize on objectives, whether they take in on an upgrade or an airdrop. That is one of the objectives that most of the teams are doing right now, so that they have enough power to be able to go against a team who might be meeting in the way. And that is a 13 Academy right there. If someone contests their airdrop, they can also go in for the early engagement. So there's no question that 13 Academy is just waiting for that final moment. It's just that no one has met them just yet. And when that happens, they just go in, fire all the way.
Amethyst Esports, on the other hand, with a very careful approach to this pink airdrop. They want to get their guns from the gunsmith, and as you can see, Timothy has not collected it for himself just yet. The players are still waiting for it to land on the ground, and the moment that it does, here goes Amethyst Esports for the strike. But Vagabond Snowman's on the way. Snowballs have been brought into the play already, and one quick hit, Timothy goes flying. Vagabond Snowman's, they strike, but Travis gets taken down. Narosa, Captain Narosa strikes. Timothy hacks up all of the players instantaneously. And Amethyst Esports, they've got Vagabond Snowmans exactly where they want them. Virus tries to take down Captain Narosa, and he fails miserably. One dog tag down on the ground already. And now the players of Amethyst Esports, they have got their guns from the gunsmith, but Vagabond Snowmans, before striking Amethyst Esports, they visited a pink airdrop as well. This is the second gun from the gunsmith that they want to take out for themselves. So this is an equal battle out there. But the numbers to the side of Amethyst Esports, and the Royal Kings dropping by to say hello as well, Neptune. Oh, my lord, Virus just turns around and drops Frost right out of the equation.
Yeah, this makes it difficult for Vagabonds Nomads to really focus on a Metaverse esports right now, because a new contender will be in the mix. And this time, Royal Kings might be one of the target right here as they wait on. But this is not a smart move from them, because they see Vagabonds Nomads. We know how they hunt. They know all to check all the corners right there. But this time, as a Metaverse is slowly creeping in, this might be a chance for them to be able to survive. But Narosa slowly moving in here with that smoke being prepared, and with that smoke being popped, this might be the rush that might be done by Metaverse Esports. Esser and Pogs is not moving in this moment because they don't want to be spotted. They don't want to be seen and heard just yet, as Easy Reborn will be coming in on the other side, and this will be a 4-team battle if no one peels out from this game.
Yeah, I love what Amethyst Esports just did there. They said, thank you very much, goodbye, we are getting out of here. We're not going to take a risky maneuver. We're not going to take a risky fight so early in the matchup where you get taken out in the 11th position and you get nada in terms of placement points. And Amethyst Esports, they know that they need to continue climbing up the leaderboard. Currently, they sit down in the 7th spot, which is 51 points. They need to catch up with the VVV squad, and then later on 13 Academy. Getting taken out at this spot, at this point, is just not worth it. But they also realize that they've got nowhere to run. They do not have a vehicle to play with. They did not focus on that meta play earlier on, and now they will struggle because all they can do is sit and wait for someone to do something out there, use that chaos, use all of that confusion to run out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one who will be firing and might pull in everyone to start this game. A lot of, I couldn't say it's a Mexican standoff, because it's a lot of teams who's just waiting for it to start.
It's a Filipino standoff, bro.
Filipino standoff. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're just waiting. We're just waiting for that initial shot. And once that's happened, we are going in for the hit. Sekre is in there just passing by. Well, that was an opportunity to be able to start this fight, but I think they have been thinking, no,
Yeah.
Don't fire just yet. Don't start this battle. We need to get a better position and information against the enemy. Thus, they will just be waiting in here.
And the players of Amethyst Esports now. They just use up all of this time to continue looting because why not, right? What else can they do? They can't run away. They will get shot out in the open ground. And SDPH, I'm quite surprised that they're still alive and kicking. Earlier on, I believe, a couple of their players were getting blown up in those vehicles, but clearly they've managed to bring them right back. Timothy once again for the hack, and you have got no idea who Timothy is hacking right now because there's just so many players in the exact same compound. Narosa cluster, but he gets knocked down by Virus, but the pickup can still come through. Virus, will he put him out of the equation? Here comes Amethyst Roll. Travis jumps out to take advantage, tagged up, and he gets dropped down to the ground. But Virus from the back takes Roll out of the equation. Virus strikes Narosa and Timothy as well. Virus alone is enough on the side of Vagabond's Nomad to continue raging on. Travis will get picked up by who else but Virus himself. But here comes the Royal Kings now. Hang in, slowly approaching the situation alongside Del Cutie. The next ones to contend for this spot with Vagabond's Nomads. Omega waiting for the two players. This is the trap. All smoked out already. And here comes the strike. Virus rolled onto the ground. And it's going to be Travis from the back. Virus taken out of the equation. It is the one and only Omega with the supreme play.
Travis is the only one remaining right here, but it's a good positioning for the side of Virus, but they let go of that position because of the pickup that has been done. Now here comes Travis going in for the hit, and Omega will be taken down. Now it's a 1v3 situation, a 1v2 correction against the Royal Kings, and Del Cutie will be in here. Will try to move slowly to go against and go and take those dog tags, but Travis will be waiting. He is not slowing down. He is giving his position right now, challenging the teams to go against them because the 1v2 is, I would say, nothing to fear for the side of Travis. But who will be bold enough to go in for this challenge? That is the question, because the two teams, the two members of Royal Kings right now, they are not aiming to get the fight just yet, not for the kill points just yet. They want to get better position on the placement, and then later on, if they can get those skills. So they will be in here staying quiet and hanging while the other teams on the other side will be fighting AJ.
Here comes Almighty Prime. Angel Cutie managing to drop Dre as well as GB. It will be Tom Peeps for the strike as well. And 13 Academy, just like that, take the wipe onto Almighty Prime. And now they've got the opportunity to take Glad out of the equation as well. And they do exactly that. Almighty, they struggle against the 13 Academy, a team that is just so solid in terms of approach. The moment they spot any of those players out there, they just wipe them out and continue moving on to the next spot. Easy Reborn Esports Magna from across the street now. 13 Academy focusing in on them as well. M21 EBR in the hands of Instinct, and instinctually will go ahead to engage with them, hoping to get a couple of knocks, but we'll find absolutely none. And this compound, we've been sticking to this compound from earlier on, Neptune, and the battle still rages on. At the edge of the circle now, 13 Academy has been saved by the position of this circle, and they'll be able to play this for the next 40 seconds. And if they can catch out a couple of teams as they continue rotating towards the left, it's going to be the Royal Kings that challenge them next, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good position to really end this game, because of the compounds that are in here, if I'm not mistaken, it's one house for each team who have in here already. Like, everything is for rent, and one of this team can be able to lend it or rent this right now. But how much long can they be able to hold this? It is just 20 seconds, because the safe zone will be closing in, and for those who have been waiting, will be in a fight in a moment. And on our side, we have on this side we have Vagabonds Esports just waiting for the position, as well as to where they need to move to be able to take down the teams right here. A team still remains. Easerborn still waiting for that opportunity for the hit against the Academy, but I think they might be having one. But if in case they fire, they might be gunned down as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people here in these exact same compound. They can have a party right now. They can throw a Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale party. Everybody will join, and especially 13 Academy as they continue going in here, striking down player after player. But Dustin from the side of EZR turns things around. He drops Glad down onto the ground. Dustin still alive, but needs to armor up himself. Hanging around still with everybody in here. The wind is not going to blow him away just yet, but Tom Peeps will! And Sphinx drops by with that slay. Tom Peeps gets taken out by Sphinx. Easy Reborn Esports Magna still still in here, surviving and slaying those players out there on the battlefield. Dustin as well as Sphinx still now waiting for two more players on the side of BBB. White has triggered the trap already on the side of Sphinx, but Sphinx does not take the careless maneuver to go in for the attack. 9 more players still out there. Every single risk that they take out in here needs to be worth it. And Easy Reborn Esports Magna now sticking on to this very small corner, but there's no exit for Sphinx, so he needs to reposition. Does exactly that. Thankfully he does, because that would be quite a disappointing end if he got stuck in the small corner, Neptune.
Yeah, and speaking of disappointing, no disappointment in here for the side of Vagabonds Esports, because they always get prime location.
Yep.
Every time the game ends, they get a good location. One of each of the member right here, just waiting for each compound, just waiting for the information, and in 2 seconds, the safe zone will be closing in, and they are ready to go in for the fight. And who will be succeeding, we'll have to see, because the Vagabonds Esports has a dominance in this positioning, and they will not be letting go that easily. It's now a quickly 1v4 situation.
Yeah.
AJ.
Bye-bye, sir. Del Cutie gonna get dropped, and that one final shot comes through, but the zone sorts it out. 8 kills onto the side of Vagabonds Esports, and your king of kings of Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale strike once again. I would highly encourage anybody out there who has got any doubts on Vagabonds Esports to check out my stream that I was running just before jumping into Garena Survivors, because that's exactly where I was assessing whether or not Vagabonds Esports were really going out there and battling for some of those spots, or were they focusing on their strategy. And from the semifinals to into the grand finals here, it has always been about strategy. Vagabonds Esports is not the kind of team to go out there hunting for kills, but they always hunt for a great position out there on the battlefield, because positioning supremacy, it puts you in the best position, no pun intended, to take all of those kills, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's smart plays coming from Vagabonds Esports that really brings them to a different high when it comes to the wins. This time, this is the 6th win that they have in this game, and it doesn't fall short with the kills as well. Yes, they have fallen back in those engagement because they are waiting for a good position and probably setting up a trap for those teams who have been battling in the compound. And that is what they've done in the final moment, even out in the open, not really thinking of who's behind, because no one's behind them. They have all the information, and all they have to do is just to spring them and take them out.
And they do exactly that, right? Amazing stuff. Look at the number of kills that they pick up here for themselves. 8, and that 10 points from the placement. They'll be super excited with their performance in here. A good comeback after round number 1. But even in round number 1, you saw Vagabonds Esports getting that podium finish in terms of placement. So they're not going to be too worried about exactly how they're performing in the competition. They are doing fantastic. But the Royal Kings, this is a team that truly needed to buck up out there on the battlefield, as they are now sitting down in the 11th spot. 2 kills, and they play the placement points of 6 to get a total of 8 points in here. Every single one counts, and if they cannot get those kills, getting those placement points is definitely the better strategy. 13 Academy, on the other hand, a team that can definitely pull in the kill points, but also moves in to position themselves all the time quite well. But they did manage to slack off towards the very end, not to their fault, because just too many players gathering in the exact same compound, and chaos led to pandemonium. That pandemonium led to the end of the 13 Academy earlier on. But 5 kills in the 3rd spot. Amazing performance. Easy Reborn Esports Magna. This team I absolutely love. Easy Reborn Esports Magna has been struggling in the competition, Neptune. But to get the 4th spot alongside 6 kills, hopefully this is a performance that they can keep up for themselves in this competition here.
Yeah, this is a good momentum for East Reborn Esports Magna, because they now have a confidence that, like, in close battle against teams like a Metaverse, against 13 Academy, VVV right there, they can start and get momentum with a good placement, positioning, as well as good communication, especially in that final moment on those compounds. good communication really matters. Going in for the takedown, moving in inside and outside of that house will give them more opportunity to
Yeah.
get a better hold of how they are faring in terms of the battle, on when they can approach as well as when to pull back. And Easy
Yeah.
Reborn has shown that and was able to survive compared to the other teams, the aggressive teams that we have seen so far. But one of the aggressive teams that we have seen, AJ, sits in
Mhm.
number 5 right now, and this is VVV Sports VD, who was able to bag 9 points or 9 kills on the points right now and the placement. So it will really help them to be
Yeah.
able to move up on the leaderboards as we expect most of the teams to do on day number 2.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. And of course, you have got Team Existence Valhalla sitting down in the sixth placement here, alongside 3 points to their name. And Team Vici from VVV getting the seventh spot for themselves. You still do have placement points here, albeit not too much, but 0 kills, that's going to hurt. A team that usually doesn't get hurt when they do not find placement points is Vagabonds Nomads, because even though they get taken out a little early, a little earlier than they expected, they still do have 11 solid kills to their name. The Vagabonds Nomads will still be able to survive, and not only that, be able to climb up the leaderboard ever so slowly to look for that number one spot for themselves. But of course, if they want that, they need to work so much more harder and bring out the performance that we saw at semifinals too. SDPH, we saw the opportunity that they had earlier on, but vehicle after vehicle, they got blown up in, and that was truly the failing for the side of SDPH. 2 kills to their name. Almighty Prime, 10th spot in here, Neptune, but they do have 8 kills to their names. And one shot off that is Amethyst Esports with 7 kills in the 11th position. Both these teams take no placement points at all, but 8 and 7 points it will be. Four Kings, this time, they take home the Dinosaur's Egg in the 12th spot with 0 points to their name from this lobby.
Yep. And one thing that I'm real surprised, but
Mhm.
before we go there, no pointing out. I mean, Four Kings and RX 420 has already been expected a lot, but this time they
Yeah.
are like ending the game of round number 2 with 0 points, and it's not looking at like it's not looking good for the rivalry they had. And I
Yeah.
think the rivalry has died down because of the dominance of the other team. So hopefully they will buck up and get those points, and not to continue on the rivalry, but really to prove them that they have a chance to dethrone the kings, the current kings of Battle Royale right here.
Yeah.
Because so far with this performance, it's not showing, AJ. It's not showing that they have what it takes just yet. Or again, I don't want to be I want to be the devil's advocate on what I'm saying. It might be that they're just holding back. Hopefully not.
Pusanggala. You cannot hold back after so many rounds. But today's day 2 already. Like, when are you going to hold out until? Like tomorrow? Until the grand finals is over? I mean, if you have like some strategy up your sleeves, now's a great time to be pulling all of them out, man. I mean, NRX 420, they still struggle. And I am just absolutely shocked as to why this is happening. But we have to point out the best of the best of the best are in this competition. Even teams like ABC Mystic this time around managed to outdo the performance of NRX 420 as well as the Four Kings through the 2 kills that they picked up. Obviously, that's nothing too impressive, but this is where you need to focus on those placement points a little bit more. And I cannot believe I'm saying this, but maybe NRX 420 wants to stop fighting and then find the final circle before they start getting into engagements, because it just seems like they're not able to survive out there on the battlefield. So maybe now's the great time to slow things down and play a little bit of a safer game, guarantee a few of those final spots for yourself in that final circle, and then rage on. Maybe a little bit similar to what the current King of Kings are doing, Vagabonds Esports.
Yeah, I mean the team should have different set of plans depending on how they're moving, how they're working on this game. Because so many times that we've seen that aggressive teams still remain aggressive if they are down and out on the leaderboard. And it's so saddening to see that it's only one set of the card that they are playing, and the other set that they are not really utilizing. Like good positioning, waiting for the mid
Yeah.
game to be able to get a good placement as well as to wait for the information of the other teams. Those are the set of cards that Vagabonds Esports has been playing so far, and it
Yeah.
hasn't been adopted by other teams. Some of the teams, yes, they have been very aggressive in the start or probably in the semifinals, but slowly died down because they know it's not working, and it will not work every time, knowing that this is the top teams from both semifinals who's gunning up for number one. So
Yeah.
aggressiveness really will not work in the early game, and all they have to do is wait, position, as what we're looking right now, and the
Yeah.
smarts as well as the
Correct.
tactics really proves to show that it will give you that number one as well as a lot of points in these games.
Yeah, Neptune, I really want to point out something here, which
Mhm.
sets the players of Vagabonds Esports apart. You know, when you get into a compound like this, everybody thinks that the safest place is inside the building. And where
Yeah.
does Vagabonds Esports place themselves? Outside of the building, in the wild, in the open, and they use Mother Nature as cover. They use all of the surrounding, the encircling compound as a little bit of cover to make sure they do not find anyone engaging with them and then take those final battles. It's not about the kill points. It is about the consistency. And Vagabonds Esports is all about the consistency.
Yeah, I mean they planned out already. They heard all the gunshots coming in from the inside the compound, and all they have to do is just wait them out on the other side because at some point in time, someone will be moving out, someone
Yeah.
will be going away, and all they
Yeah.
need to do is read how the safe zone will be closing in and looking at the position that they have. Two is going in behind a boulder or a tree, and then the two will be waiting for each compound, just
Mm.
getting for information, listening for footsteps. And once the safe zone closes, they would know right away that they will be moving out of those compounds. But with that smoke, it made it provide them a little bit of difficulty. But with the two backup that they have from a distance, it will give them as well more to be able to survive that
Yes.
fight.
Correct. I agree with you. Not just grouping up all together and one cluster bomb taking all of them out, but you do have, some players in positions where you can have a little bit of backup if anything goes wrong. So supreme in terms of strategy from Vagabonds Esports. But I also love the strategy from all of our audience here. They've managed to like and share the stream enough to unlock the next giveaway. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Go ahead and redeem yourself the greatest of all time sticker. I believe this can be the official sticker of Vagabonds Esports already because they seem to be, at the very moment, the greatest team of Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale for Garena Esports MSP Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, greatest of all time, that is a huge title. A lot of teams as well as people are aiming to get that in their specific industry. So, for those who are in here, thank you very much for that support because so far, a lot of happenings is in here unfolding for the story of who is really the king, who will be falling down from the throne. I would say for the rounds that we've seen, AJ, Vagabonds Esports will not be slipping from that throne. They are sitting comfortably just yet.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see who will stand up, who will be the prince who stand up and take them out in the next round. Because we're going to go in for a quick break, and later on, round number 3 continues. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Oh, ano ng plano mga lods? Last 2 squads na lang.
Basta high ground lang ako, Ate Char. Cover ko kayo. Sige, sige. Sunod lang ako sa inyo.
Ha? Wait lang. Nasaan na ba kayo?
Ang gulo-gulo nyo naman eh. Si Bugoy ang layo. Tapos si IZ walang ambag. Tapos ito naman si Doxy, hindi niya nga alam kung ano nangyayari.
Wala lang. Kaya-kaya natin to. Oh, ayun yung last code ah.
Down 3 na, isa na lang.
Guys, nasaan yung last? Ay, hassle. Nasa likod ko pala. Ala, sniper sa ako. Ingat kayo ha, ingat kayo.
Doxy, ikaw na lang last survivor natin.
Oo, kaya mo yan.
Guys, di ko alam kung nasan siya.
Kami bahala. Sasabihin namin kung nandiyan na siya. Kaya mo yan. Ang biwo nila.
Nadaon ko siya. Guys, nanalo tayo!
Yes! Yun! Doxy, grabe! Ang galing mo, Doc! Go!
Yun! Nanalo rin!
O ano guys? Isa pa?
Welcome back to the Vagabond Survivors. Oh, sorry, no. Garena Survivors, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. My name is AJ. I'm the Mustache down here with the one and only nephew, the gentleman Garcia, the best analyst for Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale, bringing you guys all of the action from day number 2 of the finals. And the Vagabonds esports dominance will go ahead to continue, getting the podium finish in round number 1 and finishing up in that number 1 spot in round number 2, and proving to the teams that the gunfights and aggression is not the only way to rise up to the top. They have got the IQ to make sure they smash every single one of these lobbies. And the consistency is absolutely maddening, Neptune. 8 matches so far, 6 victories to the side of Vagabonds Esports.
Yeah, I mean, it's what they already played out. I read
Yeah.
from earlier what the statement of Blue was, and they already
Mhm.
have it planned out. And
Yes.
what we
Yes.
keep asking for the teams is also have a different set of plans. Go in from plan A, B, C, D up until Z if possible, because there are the dynamic of battle royale that really change a lot of things in this tournament.
Yeah.
Thus, you will need to have different approaches on different scenarios, and that is what Vagabonds Esports are doing and
Yeah.
showing us every time.
And, earlier on, we did see the players of Four Kings kind of, not perform in that round. Almighty Prime, they have been on a steady course to catch up with that number 2 spot. We are going to be bringing you the leaderboards in a little bit. Let's see if or not they've managed to oust the Four Kings, or are they just still hot on their heels? Oh, my goodness. 3
Ooh.
points away, Neptune. Almighty Prime are getting closer, but this next matchup can just allow the Four Kings to run away once again. I've not seen the Four Kings not perform back to back, because usually, that's the wake up call that they need to light that fire up once again and run away with those aggressive kills on the battlefield. This is the fire now. This is the alarm bells going off for the Four Kings. But the one alarm bell that has been going off on the battlefield that nobody else has picked up on just yet is the consistency of Vagabonds Esports with their positioning as well as slaying power when it truly requires them to do. We have been speaking about the golden ratio between the placement points as well as the kill points. And that's something that we haven't really focused on in this competition, because it is close to impossible with the current format. But look at Vagabonds Esports go out there and show us perfect dominance, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, they've done well on this. I mean, not well is an understatement. They've done great
Oh, yeah.
in the placement as well as great in the kill points, and that is how you show complete dominance. On the kill points, the Four Kings are slowly catching up. It's because of Vagabonds Esports focusing on strategy as well as positioning. So a lot of kills might not be gathered compared to the four kings for each round that they are ending in the final circle. But because of how they strategize, they go in and use their IQ to their advantage to be able to place themselves in a better spot and take that number one. That brings it to a golden ratio. I would say that it is balanced. And I mean, it's quite surprising. We started off the day when were reading about the point system, and
Mhm.
this just surprises me that a team like Vagabonds Esports can do that well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And the consistency is just absolutely mind-blowing from this squad, right? But the 13 Academy, they've been keeping their own performance up on an all-time high as well. And they, just like Almighty Prime, are catching up to the Four Kings. Almighty Prime, as they try to get away from 13 Academy and catch up with the Four Kings, all of these teams know that they need the consistency out there on the battlefield, which is why they should be emulating what Vagabonds Esports does out there. We have reduced the number of teams in the lobby, and we expect there to be lesser engagements and more strategizing out there. But it just seems to be that some of those teams do not get or did not get the memo all throughout the competition. They still go out there very aggressively, and some of them are paying a very high price for that. The grand finals is not the spot, it's not the place for you to go out hunting for kills, but it is the place where you go out hunting for a better position for yourself, because when you're at the right place, the right time definitely comes true, because you know exactly how much of time you have in a battle royale. You know exactly how much of time you have until the circle starts moving. All of that information is right in front of you. So being in the right place is absolutely important. And that's one of the things that these top teams are most definitely taking note of. The teams that are not taking note of that well this time round seems to be Vagabonds Nomads, surprisingly. I mean, they are sitting down in the 8th spot here, which is quite a far distance away from the performance they were showing us at the semifinals too. And I'm just wondering exactly when are they going to be waking up again, Neptune?
Yeah, I mean, they've seen, or we've seen a lot of great dominance for this team, and the only team who really came close to that is Vagabonds Esports. But this time, the distance is that far, and given that Vagabonds Esports was not really aiming for number one, and they were just aiming to get the number eight spot, top eight spot on the semifinals, that proves us that Vagabonds Esports really has a better plan of approach compared to the Nomads, wherein when they jump into the mix of top teams right now, the Vagabonds Nomads are in a confusion state that they don't know how to approach this directly. They
Yeah.
are going in for aggressiveness, but it is failing miserably because a lot of teams are smarting up already. A lot of teams has been learning from this game, but we'll have to see how this goes. This is the first FPP of today, and knowing that the Four Kings is close on number two, this is their round so far on the FPP match. They have 39 kills, so I think this is a chance for them to really catch up. But this time, the thing that hasn't changed is
Mm,
how Alatsky
mm,
steals all those
mm.
choppers from any any unattended spot of these maps.
Yeah, but this time round, the guy fails because we did see that the full squad of VVV Esports Vidi were in the exact same spot, and that's the
Oh,
chopper
oh,
that you
oh.
see flying through right now. And they
Oh
want to
no!
go in and attack Alatsky. Alatsky has been caught out, and this is what you get when you try to steal the chopper of VVV. Alatsky turned into a dog tag.
A lot of teams have been smarting up. I mean, it's not working. The Grand Theft Chopper will not be working anymore because how many times have we seen this gameplay already? How
Too
many
many.
times that a lot of teams has already fallen into into that trap, into that mistake, and knowing that there's a chopper in play in the map, all these teams are thinking, oh, Alaski will be dropping by, so let's secure this chopper and take him down earlier on, thus reducing the opportunity of Four Kings to really start it off early into the game. And all they have to do right now is wait for those coming into this area to take them down one at a time, knowing that there's only three left for that team.
Yeah, great stuff coming through from BBV, and they did not wait a single second. Team Vidi, they saw Alatsky with his usual approach and immediately ended the course of his cheekiness with those EPA Grand Theft Auto for the proper an automobile? I don't know, but never mind. Going back to the topic, Alatsky got punished. But the question now is, will the players of will the players of Four Kings now attempt their dog tag retrieval? And are the VVV squad members holding by to gatekeep the dog tag? Because Alatsky is a very, very important composition to the Four Kings side. And without him, I'm not saying that they're going to bomb out, but they'll definitely struggle in the round, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, especially in this mode we're in, or in this perspective we're in, the Four Kings are really performing because of the composition of the team. So losing one really changes their tactics. So I think the priority of Four Kings right now is go in for those dog tags. And that is what Tokyo is doing right now. Tokyo is in the run with a motorcycle to get those dog tags. But I think it's already in the clear. This is one good thing as well. I think this is a plan B to the tactics of Four Kings, or specific to Alatsky. We're in, yes, you can gun me down early into the game, but this is too early for everyone to really focus and guard the dog tags. So all they have to do right now is go in and pick up those dog tags, bring them back up, but it will change the whole mechanics of the 4K because they will not have that much mobility, as well as they will be spotted later on as the parachute of Alatsky will be sighted on those drop points. So we'll have to see how will this work for the Four Kings, but for now, they're the first one to be taken out. So we'll have to pray and see that they will be performing because so far the Four Kings have shown us great highlights already in this game.
The traps are all being set. You see exactly what's going on. Look at the barricade. Look at the barricade. This is Team VVV Esports Mini with the barricade now. It's Big Bertha all blown up right in front. That's jumps on to the bike. Tokyo turns around, scans it, and he is the rewind class that manages to get it. God level gameplay from Tokyo. And we have to say, Siora, amazing play. He jumped onto the bike and he started shooting Tokyo, but Tokyo popped his rewind skill, got out of there. My oh my, the trap was set, but Four Kings are too smart, brother.
Yeah, but this time VVV knows the path that Tokyo has taken, and they will be on a hunt. They want to take the Four Kings out of this game, at least two of their members, but we only have 25 seconds to wait before Alatsky will be coming back in. And Tokyo right now, just in case, he will be spotted right here as a rewind, might be able to confuse the rest of the team. But the question is, where is Fright and Kuhn? They are in the vehicle right now. How far will they be traveling? That is the question. But on the other side, we have NRX 420 in a battle against the Royal Kings.
This is one of the greatest highlights of the competition for sure. Tokyo, this guy, this legend, this monster, he turned time. He made sure he caught out all of those players. And now it is going to be NRX 420 in the next battle. The Royal Kings taking them on. But Del Cutie quickly repositioned and hanging on top. And the wind's in his ears, but he will not be able to take advantage of this at all. Boji triggers a trap. Information sent back, but this is an information that the players of Royal Kings cannot make use for themselves. Hangin quickly repositions, gets away from there. Wild blind shot from Boji, catches nobody. But Hangin, he is gonna be hunted down. Boji now leading the squad of NRX 420 for the slay. 2 kill points is exactly what NRX 420 is chasing for. If I were them, I'll disengage right away already, because you chase for a little while, but for all you know, you could be let into a trap. And the last thing that you want NRX 420 is to get bombed out once again in the 15th spot. But the Royal Kings have positioned themselves well up top on that hill. And as they continue running away, Kintaro and Boji, they're not going to slow down, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, this is the same approach they've used earlier against Vagabonds, Nomads, and they were taken down. So we'll have to see how well the Royal Kings will be able to play this, but I think they're just playing the cat and mouse right now. They will just be running. They won't be waiting. And as you can see the rotation, they are taking a long approach, circling around and going in on for those dog tags. So it's just a matter of time before they will be turning around. But no! Boji will not be taken down that quickly. Kintaro, as well as the rest of the teams, are just waiting. And here comes Kintaro for the hit. But the rewind plan will work. And there you have it. Del Cutie will survive and will be able to get in the compound for some cover, as well as get clear. But no! With that close to the dog tags, will be taken down by Peanut from behind.
Peanut now managing to go out there and strike. 3 kills in the hands of NRX 420. They are looking for the final player of the Royal Kings, but have to be careful there because right up top, the chopper, ABC Mystic. Peanut tries to blow up that chopper, forcing the players of ABC Mystic to hop on out, but they just soldier on. 3 dog tags out there on the open field. What a play earlier on by Del Cutie and the Rewind class. I tell you, the class that is making a highlight reel here just for itself is that Rewind class, man. Superb plays by all of these players out there, but I don't know if Del Cutie has managed to take away the highlight reel from Tokyo earlier on, because that is my most favorite play of the whole competition at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's Rewind versus Rewind right now, but it's still a good play. It's still a good class to be used in this game. I mean, the highlight of the ninja has been good enough to be able to get away as well as being silent, but the confusion that the Rewind class has caused, as well as how many has fallen for that trap of the Rewind class is really amazing. And this is why the Rewind class is becoming a meta in this game. It has been used by most of the teams, apart from, I think one thing that we haven't seen right here from the new classes is the pump. Though there is great potential for the pump right there, it is not really that good, especially on the how quick these teams are going in for the engagement as well as a peel out, because how slow they move up. But for the Rewind class, with just like that, they will be moving from one point to the other, thus escaping any plan of approach by the opposing team. And that is how these teams are working it out.
That was, I'm still impressed by Tokyo's play, man. That was god level from the guy with the bike. I mean, because Alatsky, his dog tag was about to expire. He had about 3 or 4 seconds left on that dog tag. And if Tokyo did not pick up the dog tag at that very second, that would have been a gone case for Alatsky. He would not be able to jump back into the play. And we did discuss exactly how important it was going to be for Alatsky to be brought right back in here for the mix. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as things will continue to break out there, it will be yet another dog tag from the side of 4 Kings that is going to be held on here by the players of VVV. And Vagabond's Nomads hunt down the rest of the 4 Kings. Frightening as he is out there on the battlefield, when he is all alone being hunted down by a full squad, he will run away nonetheless. And Fright continues to reposition. Nobody can catch the guy just yet, and Virus will not be successful on that hunt.
Yeah, I mean, the reign of the 4 Kings on the FPP is starting to dwindle and is not showing right now, especially with the failure of the Grand Theft Chopper by the side of Alatsky. So how well will they be able to adapt? That is yet to be answered right now, because NRX 420 is starting to move up. They have been surviving compared to the previous round that we've seen, and hopefully they'll be able to put out the effort as well to get those kills as well as the placement. But this time they are going against one of the teams of VVV as well as 13 Academy, and Lin right now has his sights against Kintaro. No shots just yet. They don't want to give out the information, and they are just waiting. While on the other side, Alatsky will be taken down by yet another VVV player. So I think VVV is in a hunt against the 4 Kings.
Oh, yeah, and I think they are going to be able to successfully pull that off. As you can see, dog tag after dog tag of the 4 Kings all laid out there on the battlefield, even right here in front of Lint from the side of 13 Academy. And VVV just continues to pressure the 4 Kings. But NRX 420 now going to get caught out here by the 13 Academy. Kintaro has spotted Lint. Lint spots Kintaro. They try to shoot at each other, but Lint is a little bit more successful getting those shots to connect. Kintaro will not be able to find him, and the other players on the side of 13 Academy now dropping by to back up the one and only Lin. But they have to be careful, because right behind them on the approach is ABC Mystic, the team from MYSG. 2 dog tags from the side of 4 Kings. Once again, it is the exact same squad. VVV Esports Vidi gatekeeping them.
Tokyo right now is in a wait for this chopper to go away, but I think VVV will be smartening right here to be waiting for anyone to go for that approach. It's just a matter of time before those dog tags expire, and how much more HP can Tokyo manage to retain before he can get into the safe zone. But I think battle will be starting in for yet another team who have been waiting onto the edge of safe zone going against VVV. So let's see how will this end, because on the top as well is yet another team of the VVV. So this might be brothers against brothers. We'll have to wait and see, AJ.
Oh, Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. Supreme plays all around. Everybody is just absolutely solid out here on the plays today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. As you can see, there's so much of skill, so much of strategy being executed out there in the battlefield. And yet, some teams, even though they do execute that supreme strategy, they seem to struggle. That's exactly how tough this
Oh.
lobby is. We've got the best of the best. My God! Alatsky has expired, but Kyun on the way right back in here. Was his dog tag not picked up earlier on after all of that battle? It could be a bug. We will have to wait and see. But for Kings, man, I tell you, even though the team of Team VVV Esports Vidi continuously pressured them, Gate kept all of those dog tags, survived outside of the zone for so long, and they try to push it to the limits and then later play the game of survival. Four Kings still managed to bring their brothers right back in here to the play. If Four Kings manages to get into that final circle, bro, I tell you, I am more than impressed, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, getting away, getting in, and that is what the move the 4K is showing us right now. But we just saw that explosion of the vehicle who might have taken the two remaining members of the 4 Kings. So we'll have to see how many more is left in here for the 4 Kings if they're still alive. But the VVV right now, they are not going down just yet. We have a team of Vici on top of this hill, and who is surrounded by on the other side is a Metaverse, and as well on the left-hand side is the team of Benny. So they might be moving in a different area, probably a higher point on this rocks to be able to get visibility against this team, because it's getting crowded right now as we look at the minimap, as a lot of teams has been going into this spot.
Yeah, you have to be on that high ground, thankfully. Oh, Chase catches Peanut out. NRX 420. They're going to struggle at this point in the 14th position. If you get taken out, NRX 420, it's going to be a little painful, man. But of course, we hop on over to Amethyst Esports as well as they approach the compound that is held on here by BBB Esports Vici. Amethyst Esports, they've always been absolutely solid when it comes to slaying those teams. But against VVV, they might be challenged out here. Very slow on the approach. They want to strategize this well. They know that a compound like this, you've got many of those hidden spots where those players can stake an ambush, lay out that trap, and Amethyst Esports not making any jump mistakes out there. Very slowly, they aggress on to the position of VVV.
Speaking of hidden spots, we are seeing existence right now on top of those windmills. Yanara will be at the bottom, with the 3, if I'm not mistaken, is on top. They have good visibility to go in for those snipes, and I think we've just heard it. Yeah. We have the 4 Kings who has already been taken out of this game. So out of the 14 teams, the 4 Kings have said bye-bye. The efforts that they have done has been left into fray, being on that number 15 spot. But continuing on the battle, this is VVV who is going against STPH, and they are being taken but so slowly. But Calibe right now is in here going for the shot and missing most of them. But with the smoke, will be able to help him out. And Breezy in there will be taken down Plank, and they need to step into the safe zone as well as recover the armor. Otherwise, they might be taken down in there real quick.
Calibe, what is this guy doing? 18 more HP. He's losing a lot of time. 12 more. 9, 7. Just in time, Calibe. Just playing with fire out there, but he knows the importance of recovering his armor before getting in towards that zone. And this is exactly where all of the experience playing the edge of the zone gives you, man. Amethyst Esports still alive and kicking out there, and Bubbles gets taken down by the one and only Amethyst Esports Narosa, the captain in game for the Amethyst squad now, leading the team up to take on STPH. High ground approach coming through from Narosa. Speed. It will be Breezy that gets spotted out. Jack on for the pop. Does not get the knock just yet. Chase takes Watts, and Narosa goes out of the equation as Drake gets that backstab. AK-47 Frostband for the attack, and Amethyst Esports survive with one final player.
Prime location from Almighty Prime right now, in a distance from all the battle is happening on the other side, and they are just beating them off. They are beating off those mistakes, and as well as the open area that has been done by the other teams. But this time they need to reposition, because NRX 420 is right behind them. And where will they be able to spot? And this is a very difficult decision for the Almighty team, because a lot of edges has been taken already, and they need to back out a little bit and get to find a higher ground for them to snipe them off. But I think Chibi might be able to see one of ABC mistake, but will be able to let go of that opportunity because the rest of the teams have already settled on that high ground. And our
Yeah.
Sword 20, on the other hand, we'll be seeing 13 Academy right now. Will pop off those grenades. We'll see how well this battle will start.
Oh, big fight now for NRX 420. 13 Academy is one of those supreme teams in this lobby that has been so difficult to shut down. And now Boji down on the ground, Wonder Kid. Without him, what can NRX 420 do? But 13 Academy, they suffer as well because only 2 players left on their side. Angel Cutie alongside Glad, and Angel Cutie will spot out Kape. Oh, pumped up, and he misses Kape by 3 miles, but spots the back of him right again. And Glad all the way on the other side. Angel Cutie gonna get caught out. 37 HP, pumps himself right up into the air, survives, and NRX 420 does not tag him up. But from the opposite side, Almighty Prime with those shots back to back, try to catch out Cutie. Cutie as cute as ever, tries to reposition. Duda on the other hand, it is gonna be Team VBB Esports winning with the high ground pressure. Nobody around them just yet. They just need to focus on the front. But like you pointed out earlier on, Existence right up top on that windmill might just be able to catch everybody off guard.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen any kills from them just yet. Not quite sure what they're waiting for, but this is the opportunity for Existence to get those kills. But on the other side, we have a battle that will be happening at SDPH and Royal Kings, and Duda is just becoming a spectator in that battle. And it didn't really get up on that pop, but we'll have to wait how VVV will be able to get these kills. So far, 10 alive in this battle. 21 soldiers fighting, Almighty moving up and above, getting information, will be backing off, and here comes the approach by the rest of the teams. And this is another smart use of the rewind class and to get how many enemies is in front of them.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. You need to get that information and you need to play your advantage with all of that information pulled away. And as you saw earlier on, Chibi spotted out the players of VVV, repositioned, sent the other 2 players right in front of him, and then went in for the backup. And that is the kind of supreme plays that the rewind class will be able to bring out there. KKPG now shut down by Chibi, who takes that backstab. Pina taken out by the zone. NRX 420 still struggling. 6 more teams left out there in the equation, and 420 loses yet another player to the circle. But VVV right in front. It is Team Venny who is raging on in this circle at the moment. Everybody else catching up with them. Almighty Prime being dropped by Team Venny as well. Back to back now. Venny doing amazing. 10 kills so far. Paul taken out of the equation. Almighty Prime hits back.
And here comes Jesuo and AD right now, and Duda will be picked up as well. So still opportunity for the 3 members of VVV to go against the 2 members of Almighty. Chase and Chibi is going in for the hit. It is a 3-team battle right now, and on the other side, we still have 1 from a Metaverse, and Ral will be surviving. But Jesuo will be able to take down Chibi, and here comes AD going in for the hack to confuse the rest of the teams who are in here, and we'll have to see who will survive this battle. Oh, Jesuo and AD with that double hit, and there goes VVV still alive and kicking in this fight. There's only 1 more member. Rald is still alive and is being hunted.
Yeah, amazing play by Amethyst Esports, but your winners, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is gonna be Venny, Vici. This is Team Venny, team number 7, getting... Oh. Almighty Prime. Okay, ignore the... Okay, there you go. VVV Esports winning, getting this victory in the most outstanding fashion. 12 kills, I believe, they ended up that round with, and 10 points from the placements. Solid performance coming through from the squad, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen smart move from teams already, but this is a very, very smart move from this team of VVV Esports. They went in on the edge of the circle. Every time they are in, like, they're thinking that they will be caught off guard with a backstab, they move in the confusion and then get yet another higher ground. So we'll have to see what more can be put into play by this team of VV Venny. But congratulations, they have taken their 1 win in this finals, AJ.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. And this time round, you guys will notice that the 4 Kings bombed out a little early, and that is courtesy of Vagabond's Nomads, who blew their vehicle up, taking out all of those players at the very same time. Sort of an anticlimactic end after Tokyo made that amazing play to keep all of the players still alive and kicking. Hence why you saw multiple of those dog tags all together beside each other, because within that vehicle, as the players of 4 Kings tried to reposition, it was once again a situation where they encountered bad luck. But up top, it will be Team 7, Team Venny from the BBB squad, grabbing a total of 12 kills as well as the 10 placement points. Amethyst Esports purely playing for those placement points this time round. A total of 7 points goes to them with that 1 kill that they picked up for themselves. Almighty Prime, almighty pressure they continue to place on all of the other teams, holding on to those higher grounds and dancing around, not really getting caught out very easily, and they will be able to pressure Vagabonds Esports continuously. And the players of Four Kings who were holding on to that second pot earlier on, this time around, there's no way they do not lose it to the consistent Almighty Prime. A total of 14 kills picked up alongside the placements from the third spot. Vagabonds Esports this time around, no, not many kills in there, but still with the consistency in terms of positioning. As far as Vagabonds Esports is concerned, it's always about the positioning and not about the aggressive kills. 13 Academy, consistency to get the top 5, and they bag 3 kills as they end up this round in that 5th spot. But NRX 420 with the 4 kills here, Neptune, with that 6th placement.
Yeah, I mean, not bad for NRX 420 right here. This time, they were able to get on top of the half of the teams who have in there, and also 1 kill from each of their members. So I would say this is still a good approach to go in the mid of this day, because so far, bombing out early into the game is not an option anymore for these teams, because they need to move up. Even with the placement, even with not that much kills, they need to get those points and not be left out at the bottom of the seed. On number 7 right now, we have yet another team of VVV, and this is VVV with an awesome number of kills right now, and this is 7 kills on 7 spots. So despite of the position that they have, we mentioned this already, you can back it up with the kills as well. Like Sissons in there, given the position, they didn't take advantage of the position that they have from high. Like, it's very, very high. They have clear view, but they didn't get that much kill. So it's a lost opportunity for the existence. But on the other side, VVV and another team of VVV. This is a Vici right here. They got 4 kills right there, but it has been taken down early. And they have to pay the price of a low placement, if not none.
Yeah, Vagabonds Nomads with the 10th spot, but they're not complaining. They're not upset about this at all. 12 kills, which means 12 points from those kills, and they will be happy with that. And a couple of those points came off grabbing the slay on Four Kings. Vagabonds Nomads, they were the ones who retired the Four Kings from this particular lobby. The Four Kings are not going to be too happy with that. And we were asking, where are the Vagabonds Nomad squad? Where is the performance? This is where the performance comes true. And just like what was anticipated earlier on at the semifinals to Neptune, we said it once, we said it twice, we said it over and over again. Vagabonds Nomads focusing on those kills, purely on those kill points, and they do not focus on their placement points, and that's going to hurt them at the finals. And we see that being slowly coming into fruition here as the leaderboards gets set up match after match. Royal Kings with the 11th spot, 2 kills to their side. SDPH on the other side will have 3 kills to their name, and He Phoenix a total of 5 points for themselves, all thanks to the slays that they have gotten out there. ABC Mystic, the struggle continues for MYSG, but Chalup manages to score 1 before they get taken down. Four Kings, Tokyo with the highlight reel in that rewind class, multiple rewind class users out there getting the highlight reels for themselves. But it was Tokyo with the most amazing play. And I tell you, if at all they had been able to win this lobby with that, the whole of COD community would have lost their minds, right? Because it would have been thanks to that one play of that rewind class, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting as to how much more Alatsky will be playing that game of Grand Theft Chopper, because it is not like it is the first time that it has failed. It's failing more and more, and this is not a chance wherein you make those mistakes. But as we look in here, this is the moment. This is that moment that that we are talking about, how Tokyo will be moving in and rushing in to get those dog tags. And I'm quite surprised, AJ. We have the rock as well as the truck right there, and with that small space, he was able to go through. Look at that space, AJ. Look at that space.
It was quite an insane play, man. And look at the amount of time left on that dog tag. That was the god level play coming through here from Tokyo. He moves through 1 single second left. He grabs that dog tag, hits that rewind, scans Alatsky back. And I tell you, I have never seen a more perfect play with that rewind class. I have never seen a more perfect, timely save because a second later, Alatsky would have expired, right? But what's
Yeah.
unfortunate is the Four Kings, they bombed out early. Just too much of chaos in the early segments of this game. This is not the kind of lobby where you pull off flashy maneuvers like that and walk away the victor. You know, when you get shaken up in the early moments, these supreme teams out there surviving on the battlefield will take advantage. And who else but Vagabonds Nomads, who have been struggling in their own accord to catch off the players of Four Kings as they were maneuvering around on that vehicle and took them all out with one swift shot. Almighty Prime, the consistency from this underappreciated team out there on the battlefield is it doesn't really need to say much because they are
Mhm.
proving their worth out there through their performance, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, I think Almighty as well as VVV has been using the same approach in each game. They are taking the high ground, waiting for their chance to go for approach, and especially with the move that we've seen from GB using this is a different use of the rewind class.
Yeah.
That's more of the information gameplay that goes in there, spots out how many is in there on that area on that high ground for them to rush or probably get a better placement against the other team, and that
Yeah.
is what they're doing. But this time, the Smarts will be taken down by another. I would not say smarter team, but it
Mm.
is utilizing the same tactics that they have. Thus,
Yeah.
they have been taken in there on that point. But VVV has taken this win, and Raud has just to give away that point so that it will be a metaverse to go and take that second spot. We
Yeah.
have here the round number 3 winners of day number 2. VVE Sports Veni, proving that VVE Sports are still in a way to go for number 1.
The only thing that hurts the VVV brand here is that fact that Veni is the one who is underperforming the most in comparison to VD as well as Vici, who are performing a little bit better on the leaderboard so far. I mean, if the overall goal for VVV Esports is for all of the teams to clump up together somewhere in the upper half of the leaderboard, then yep, this is a good cause. But VD as
Oh.
well as Vici, they need to find a few more of those consistent plays out there on the battlefield in terms of engagement. But when you talk about the supremacy in terms of IQ plays, the positioning by Veni on that high ground, it was just perfect, man. And if there was esports, they could have taken it, but you know, the numbers game would obviously go to catch up. But what else will catch up with us, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is the redeem codes that we are about to give you. So make sure you hop on into the Redemption Center and get the dystopian crate for yourself as a thank you from Garena for all of your love and support in the comment section, with those likes, with the subscribe, with the shares especially. And if you have not shared the stream just yet, what are you waiting for? Please help us share the stream out so that others can jump on in and witness Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale supremacy.
Yeah, speaking of comment section, I love reading the comment section where and some of the viewers are really showing that regardless of how the team that they're supporting are bombing out, placing not that much on each round, they are still giving out the all-out support, and that is what we
Yes.
love about those
Yes.
viewers.
Yes.
I'm specifically talking about those viewers who give out support even if their team are failing, and that is
Yes.
what we want with the community.
Correct.
You give out your full support and not really taking down other teams just because of some of the things that you're assuming as well as thinking of. So hopefully we will get a lot more of that support, because right now we are going in on the second half of this day. This is the semifinals, or this is the grand finals, day number 2 of the Garena Survivors, and it will continue when we get back onto the break. See you.
Oh, ano ng plano mga lods? Last 2 squads na lang.
Basta high ground lang ako, Ate Char. Cover ko kayo. Sige, sige. Sunod lang ako sa inyo.
Ha? Wait lang. Nasaan na ba kayo?
Ang gulo-gulo niyo naman eh. Si Bugoy ang layo. Tapos si IZ walang ambag. Tapos ito naman si Doxy, hindi niya nga alam kung ano nangyayari.
Wala lang. Kaya-kaya natin to. Oh, ayun yung last code ah.
Down 3 na, isa na lang.
Guys, nasaan yung last? Ay, hassle. Nasa likod ko pala. Last sniper siya. Ingat kayo ha, ingat kayo.
Doxy, ikaw na lang last survivor natin.
Oo, kaya mo yan.
Guys, di ko alam kung nasan siya.
Kami bahala. Sasabihin namin kung nandiyan na siya. Kaya mo yan. Ang biwo nila.
Nadoon ko siya. Guys, nanalo tayo.
Yes! Yun! Doxy, grabe. Ang galing mo, Doko.
Yun, nanalo rin.
O ano guys? Isa pa?
Welcome back to the Garena Survivors Finals, day number 2. And we are your casters at your service, Neptune Denver Garcia. Together with me is amazing Mustachio AJ. And so far, AJ, we've seen a lot of teams get that win compared to yesterday, wherein it's a complete dominance of Vagabonds Esports on the number 1 spot. How much more, or how much teams are going to take that number 1 spot against them? That have yet to be seen, because so far 6 for Vagabonds Esports, 1 for Almighty as well, or Almighty Prime, as well as 1 from VVV Esports VD, and Venny will be taking that one as well. It has been spread out already from top to the mid of our leaderboards, and there's a lot more that might happen in the second half.
The only consistency that we're not seeing here is the supreme consistency of Vagabonds Esports that I am not too shocked with, because obviously nobody expected them to go on a wild 5-victory run. They dominated. They smashed it yesterday. On the day where a lot of teams were having that first day finals jitters, Vagabonds Esports, they are used to the grand finals. They have been at multiple grand finals and they've bagged multiple victories here for themselves. And Garena Survivors, although it has got the biggest stack or the biggest grouping of supreme teams from the Call of Duty mobile Battle Royale scene in Malaysia, Singapore, as well as Philippines, it does not phase Vagabonds Esports. But today, we do not see that consistency, because some of the teams that struggled yesterday to find their form have found their momentum in here on day number 2, Neptune.
Yeah, and also for those who are expecting to pop off, are really failing as some of the attempts that they have. So we'll have to see how has this changed the leaderboard already in this format, because a lot of changes, a lot of study has been done already by these teams. And as we look at it, still Vagabonds Esports remain in the top, 162 into the points, but next to them is Almighty Prime with 106 on the point, leaving behind the Four Kings because of that unexpected or unintended failure that they have in there from the previous match, AJ.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. Almighty Prime just leaving the Four Kings in the dust. And, you know, it's a little bit of an unfortunate round for the Four Kings, but I believe the Kings can make a solid comeback later on. We still have got 3 more rounds within the day. 13 Academy, they are now 2 points away from the Four Kings. to climb up a little bit more. And this truly matters. Over at the semifinals too, it didn't matter at all. Only the
Mhm.
top 8 mattered. But in the grand finals, every single rank that you climb up the leaderboard matters because it changes the amount of US dollars that you take back home for your squad. And you know the fight at the top 4 is going to be quite heated. VD as well as Vici, they have got their eyes on the prize as well, and they very slowly start climbing up. A team Veni who got the victory earlier on, they still have got a little bit more of work to put out there on the battlefield if they want to continuously climb up, because they have to go up against teams like Amateurs Esports as well as Vagabonds Nomads and compare their own performance to theirs. So that's going to be quite tough because Amateurs Esports, we've seen them participate in that final circle battle one too many times, and they have got what it takes to get those gunfights all sorted out. And we know the supremacy in terms of dominance in the gunfights for Vagabonds Nomads. But that being said, at the finals, we seem to have a little bit of a problem here with the Vagabonds Nomads. Not only do they not find their placements, which is understandable, but
Mhm.
they are not popping off. We don't see supreme number of kills. Even at FPP Blackout this time round, they don't really, they don't seem dangerous anymore, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they've lost touch or if it's because of the stronger teams who are out here gunning them down. We'll have to see further if this is something that they can work out. But it's a good point in there because Vacuum's Nomads really didn't back off any engagement from the semifinals. And
Yeah.
as we move in here, there's a lot of questions that has been popping already for the Vacuum's Nomads as how much or when are they going to pop off and how much more can they move up on the leaderboards. But AJ, you were talking about the USDs, and
Mm.
we talked about 3BVs right here. And it got me thinking,
Hmm.
imagine on this grand finals, on the
Yeah.
finals right now, three of the teams is already in there. And with those prize pool being distributed with all three, it's just a matter of how high all three of these teams will be able to make it. And the brand will get all those USDs.
I did not think of that. And now that you've pointed it out, I'm actually just wondering what would the collective prize pool be for what would the collective prize grab be for the VVV
Mhm.
squads, right? And I think that's exactly what Venny's aiming for right now because as a clan, they're going to try to
Mhm.
continue climbing up the leaderboard so that they can give their brand everything. But now, as we hop into the map that the players of Vagabonds Nomads have made themselves very popular on in terms of being the slayers
Oh.
of the competition, we will spot them out once again. Alatsky this time around, he's a good boy. He joins the rest of them. He's not going in for the chopper play, but someone else on the squad, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is flying away. Unless the slot has changed for
Uh-huh.
Alatsky, one player from the side of Four Kings have managed to steal that chopper away. This time around, 13 Academy do not
Oh,
prevent it.
yeah. I mean, Third
Oh, it is
Academy didn't.
Alatsky.
It is Alatsky. They didn't prevent it, but he just moved in there past the estates, and I thought he was just dropping by the area because it's not the first time that we've seen him take a
Hmm.
chopper, move to a different area to loot everything in that part, and then get back to the rest of the teams. But I guess
Yeah.
this is the original plan that the Four Kings have. Take
Yeah.
a chopper, get information. Estates they already know that there are two teams already in there, unless they are assuming that's only one team. But for the rest of the teams on the Hydro Dam, they will be moving towards a state. So we are going to expect them jumping in on that area as Alaski relay that information. But this time, this is a successful chopper run for Alaski, and we'll have to find out how much more can they put in this because this is FPP on Blackout, and we know how they go on FPP as well as a Blackout. We've dubbed them the Kings of Blackout, but I don't think it will last any longer because the chopper will come into the ways because it is being gunned down and it's smoking right now.
It is going to be Alatsky who tries to survive out there with the chopper. Could have just joined the rest of his team members quicker, but just taking a lot of risks out there that I'm just not a big fan of here, Neptune. But hopefully Alatsky will be able to survive that because the Four Kings need him too.
Mhm.
Without him in the mix, we know exactly how tough it is for the Four Kings to continue battling on full power. We had a quick spot of raid here, and that's one of the main reasons why a lot of people like Blackout. A lot of visions from that MP maps all available on this.
Yeah, and another thing, like I was rewatching the game and I was able to get into Nuketown Island And Nuketown Island really looks like standoff if you think about it. It doesn't
Yeah.
look like Nuketown, it looked like standoff. So the mix that has been put into play in the graphics in there, as well as the usage of those like scenery that we have, really really makes us understand well of this game, as well as find out how much we love it. Because the moment you spot any similarities between all those two modes, like the similarities between all those two modes, you will be proud of yourself. Oh, I spotted that, it looks like that, it looked like this. And that is how we love this game.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, it does get you a little excited. I cannot argue, man. I cannot disagree with you, Neptune. It does get me a little excited as well. When the first time I hopped into Blackout, I did not know what to expect because, I wasn't a huge fan of the Call of Duty franchise in the past. Call of Duty Mobile is my very first Call of Duty game that I have picked up for myself and played. So not very familiar with all of those maps, but catching them inside of the Blackout map itself, yeah, I get where you're coming from. I did feel that excitement as well, as would have the rest of the COD community out there, who are very happy to jump into MP and, of course, Battle Royale back to back. But off screen, Royal Kings now will lose Omega to the one and only Kape, AK-47. Very happy to see the AK-47 back in one of the meta plays as well, man. For the longest of time, this gun wasn't really hitting very hard out there on the battlefield.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teams has retained it, even if because of even if it has been reduced. But this time, I think it will be going into play and hanging in there, taking down Kape. That's that quickly in that face of face. But hanging right now needs to recover some armor, and we'll have to see how well will they be able to go in for the play. Bonchi right now in there, plus Kintaro for the hit. Frosh will not be too froshy in that game, and there goes yet another member of the Royal Kings. We have 420 right now with 3 to their name and 1 more to go. Royal Kings nowhere to be found just yet, and it is a safe move for them. They might be able to get those dog tags if it will not be guarded by NRX 420.
Right now, taking a swim. Kalibe down as well, but he has been scanned through already. Breezy trying to take down the players of Four Kings from under the water. It is going to be Fright now for that dog tag pickup. Alatsky once again, bro. He seems to struggle to stay alive. But Kyun, Tokyo shuts down Bree, and that's going to be the winning play because Fright almost got taken down. Tokyo as well. And SDPH now being pressured by the players of Four Kings as they pick up the dog tag of their brother. Alatsky Kyun has SMRS pops that bubble.
And there we have it. 4 Kings right now is in there, back into play. 1 will be scanned back and will be coming back into this game. Still, 4 members remaining for the team of 4K, and they have a chance to get back in onto this game, to get back their throne into the Blackout map. And we'll have to see how well will they be able to survive. Hopefully, Alatsky will be able to survive a little bit longer on this game, because the more they have a full squad, they can get into this fight. But with the loss of the chopper, how much movement they can go into, they just need to depend right now with those vehicles, or probably with a snowboard if they have them.
Yeah, I don't know if the Four Kings have realized yet, but this is not the semifinals, because at the semifinals, they did have a few teams that they could go out there and very easily dominate. But in a mix of, 15 other supreme squads out there, the best of the best, the creme de la creme, yeah, you're not going to be able to pull off those cheeky maneuvers, go off in those solo plays. They need to stick together. They need to play this as a squad. They need to be as careful as Vagabonds Esports. When do you see Vagabonds Esports breaking apart? The only time they do so is when they want to take the flank maneuver to shut down their opponents out there on the battlefield. Apart from that, they always stick together, and that's something that I hope the Four Kings can emulate out there in a little bit. Vagabonds Nomads sticking together as the 13 Academy very slowly pop that smoke bomb and back away from this engagement. They do not know exactly who's in front of them, but they do not have a proper defensive compound to play with, and the 13 Academy understands that as they back away. NRX 420 drops by. Is this gonna be revenge time? Because Vagabonds Nomads earlier on, they did tease the players of NRX 420, and Kape now, the flank from the right-hand side alongside Peanut, one by one. Kintaro joining them as well. And as 13 Academy keeps the players of Vagabonds Nomads busy, NRX 420, they creep up from the back, Neptune.
And here we go. We have the hit right now into Travis by NRX 420, and they will not be able to take one down just yet. Cafe was able to take a higher ground, and also Peanut on the side to be able to spot out some of 13 Academy. But this is the airdrop move being done by 13 Academy. They have distracted and pulled out or pushed out the Vagabonds Nomads into play. Thus, they will be able to take all those kinetic overcharger. But how can they put it into use right now? Because a lot of teams will be staying in here, and RX 420 will not be backing away that easily. They will have to plank in, because in a bit we have the safe zone that will be closing in, but that will be in more than a minute. So they have plenty of time to go in for the approach, but this time the approach of 13 Academy into the Vagabonds Nomads will be a little bit wrong, and they need to back away.
Oh, smart play by Glad. Lucky he had the ninja skill all upgraded already. And a little bit of a bug, but it's okay. We're going to ignore that. Vagabonds Nomads with the supreme pressure onto 13 Academy, but neither squad will be able to bag much from this encounter. And you have NRX 420 to thank for that, because they were the ones that forced Vagabonds Nomads to reposition as they took that backstab. And if you look at the positioning of Vagabonds Nomads as well as their response to that situation, I really like the fact that they are not raging on with their usual confidence, but they are playing this so much more careful. VVV takes on VVV, and this is the kind of aggression that we can expect out of both of these VVV squads. Brother or not, I catch you, I slay.
Yeah, I mean, this really brings on a team as well. I mean, brothers against brothers, it will become a little bit of internal rivalry. And with those rivalry, will bring up a greater brand between them. And that is what we need right now. We have VVV who are showing that they can go against their team regardless of their position as well as their gameplay. But I think they have peeled out of this situation, and they will be making do and getting all those armors healed as well as themselves prepared on the next battle. But the battle is not yet over, because NRX 420 Kintaro is going for the hit against the Royal Kings, who was caught in that fight that had started earlier on.
What they can bag from this, because VVV, as they reposition, the players of Team Vici are nearby as well. Very specifically, just one player in the name of Sato. Sato moving on. He wants to pick up that dog tag that Siora is keeping an eye on. And I don't think Siora wants to back away from this engagement just yet. As Kaiser drops Jesuo, this is just going to turn out to be a bigger battle between the two VVV squads. But look at this. Kaiser now taking his chances, hopping on out. And Team Vici might be able to punish with the vantage point that they have. But no, trigger discipline makes them keep quiet. Alatsky gets taken out by He Phoenix, and Alatsky continues to struggle in this day of gameplay. So Cray now fright with the frightening gameplay from up top, but the ninja will not be able to see through the smoke, which gives the opportunity to the player of He Phoenix to continue to reposition. But Assassin now taking a wild swim. Murphy drops Tokyo. My oh my, the four kings getting knocked down one after the other. Neptune
Right is in there going for the chase, but will now be able to go for the takedown, and will be able to give Burn a chance to recover. Assassin is in there, will be moving up together with Fright, and there goes in, and there goes Merc, being the mercenary that he is, takes down Fright with that Mac 10, and there's only two more members for the team of Four Kings right now, Kyun and Tokyo, but Vagabonds Esports will be knocking it on this door, and it will be trouble for both teams in here.
Yeah, Luki now with the right-hand flank. But look at He Phoenix moving on in straight for the attack. They're not waiting. They want to take the fight up against the Four Kings. But Kyun manages to catch out Murphy as all of those traps get triggered. Yato shuts down Tokyo. That's going to be an unfortunate situation for Luki. He burns out the one and only Bird. Vagabonds Esports now. They hop on in and they take all of the remnants of this battle for themselves in terms of kill points. Only one final player left there now for the Four Kings. And that's going to be Tokyo, as yet another player backs away. Tokyo gets dropped down onto the ground. Kyun, final player surviving. Will the Four Kings make it to the final circle? Will Kyun be able to pick up the rest of his team members? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there's still time, but there's just no position here to be played as the players of Vagabonds Esports now look to gatekeep these dog tags.
Vagabonds Esports in there just in time to be able to do some damage against the Four Kings as well as HE Phoenix. But on the other side, we are seeing on the kill feed, Vagabonds Pogs taking down Boji in there with that snipe. Alatsky will be coming back from the revive flight, and this might be a chance that Q is waiting for. But on this fight of Vagabonds Nomads and near them is NRX 420. How much more can they put out in this battle? Because they have been chasing each other from when we left them. And with this scan, Pogs will get information as who's near them. But on this fight, they need to back out a little bit, taking the advice that we have given to get a better position on the placement and not just the kills.
Yeah, Boggs now very slowly just approaching the situation, making sure he does not get caught out by any teams, because this is the kind of open grounds where you do not want to get into a gunfight. And yes, you can have a smoke bomber on your side, but he's the only one who's going to have that vision when that smoke is popped. So it's just a risky play all over. And that's just something that you do not want to see those players do. And they sure as heck do not want to execute a play like that. And therefore, BBB Esports VD will continue surviving and they'll stay silent. So trigger discipline from their side. But Vagabonds Esports now, they want to try to catch them out. Let's see if they can have this. They do have the rally car on their side. Jewel knows that they are there. Obviously, the rally car is making so much of noise, but with the trigger discipline on the side of VVV, Vagabonds Esports repositions that vehicle. Oh, but attack from the back. Two VVV squads going after Vagabonds Esports. And this is not seeming to be good for the leaders of this grand finals.
Yeah, as you can see, VVV Esports VD just backed out in there because, as we keep mentioning, they don't want to be caught in a third party right there, especially in FPP mode, because they are probably not confident yet to go in for that fight. And it's still too early, but this time, another team who is confident enough to go against the team of the Four Kings is 13 Academy. With 4 members in here jumping in the fray, they will be battling in against VVV Esports, who has already taken some of the compounds right here, as well as VVV Vici, and it is house after house that 13 Academy and VVV will be occupying, as Vagabonds Esports knowingly they will be backing out and getting a good position, probably starting it off with a snipe and take them down later on. But they have to wait. They need to take advantage of what's happening between these two teams before they go in for that push.
Yeah, Virus now drops Jesuo. Vagabonds Nomads, they strike back. 13 Academy try to reposition Almighty Prime from the back. Quasi, he catches Instinct and he backs away instantaneously whilst Jace just maintains all of that pressure. SMRS in hand. Jace on the other hand with the M21. They want to aim for the players of 13 Academy, but behind the building now, 13 Academy positions themselves, avoiding all of the engagements with Almighty Prime. Angel Cutie, opportunity to respawn. SMRS comes fighting Angel Cutie. Chase continuously pressures them. Tokyo, one more player out there on the side of Four Kings. Just curious to see whether or not they have managed to bring any of their players right back in here. Earlier on, we did see Kyun. There you go. Fright in the mix as well. Four Kings are right back in it.
Dog tag gameplay coming in for Four Kings right now. How long will this go on and how much kills can they get, especially as they are just focusing and getting their teammates back with those dog tags. Now Almighty still have prime position from the top of this roof, and they just have to wait the opportunity to go in for the approach. On the other side, they also have another team. It's Easy Reborn who might be going against them with the gunshots as well as the rockets popping off from this team. They might need to reposition because they don't want to be backstabbed. But who is not going away? Who is not repositioning? We have 13 Academy as well as VVV right now. This VVV Vici, and we also have Fright stuck in the middle as well as 2 more members on the side.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's high time the rest of the team members from the side of Four Kings go and save Fright, because he's not going to be able to pull off anything all on his own. NRX 420, Vagabonds Nomads, as well as VVV Sekre helping out each other to take them out of the equation. And NRX 420 might just bomb out before the Four Kings. 40 players still left out there on the battlefield, and it looks like Almighty Prime is bagging every single shot that they can find out there. But they're not going to get more kill points to their name. Knock after knock, no kills coming through. Almighty Prime, they stay patient. They still want to find the players on the side of 13 Academy. They know the position, but they just do not have any clear shots.
Yeah, I mean, they need to get a better position right now because we are jumping in on the 5th phase, and this is the moment wherein a lot of teams will be popping off. We've already mentioned that for the side of Vagabonds Esports. They might have been surviving the gunfight in there, but they are backing off quickly because they want to get a good height of advantage. But this time, on the other side, we have Yato taking down the Rosa in there after being knocked down, and VVV also doing some damage against a Metaverse right here. And on the other side as well, Alaski will be gunned down, but will be able to get away from the shots by a chase. And there goes the survival of the strongest and the quickest, as Alaski will be able to pull out from those targets.
Let's see if Joel will be able to find Boggs. Yes, he does. And a great knock, in fact, as he manages to take the kill instantaneously. Angel Cutie from the side of 13 Academy tries to sustain out there on the battlefield as this just turns out into pure chaos. Engagement after engagement between all of the teams. BBV still surviving out there, but Vagabonds Esports finding those shots. White now, final player left here for Team F. It is going to be Team Vidi, who is pressured by Vagabonds Nomads. And as White tries to find the circle for himself, runs out of time, manages to replenish his armor, 10 more HP, slides into the circle and remains surviving. Siora will bleed out, but White now being tagged up. 6 more on the armor, 8 more on the HP. Goodbye, White. It was nice knowing you.
That is the only moment wherein a slide jump is really shoutcasted, guys. So for those of you who aren't here who wants to see battle, this is the battle that is happening. Vagabonds Esports with a good position right now. Just behind them is the river where no one will be able to backstab them. And this is what we keep talking about Vagabonds Esports. They will get good position before they jump in for the fight. But on the other side, Fright is going in for the fight as well. And this is not a question of fight or flight. This is a question of who will survive, and they are surviving right now. And I am seeing Glad in there being taken down, and Chase in there taken down by that cluster as well.
Yeah, dude. Beautiful takedown onto Travis. And Peanut's still alive and kicking, so NRX 420 can find the top 5 spots for themselves. But will they be able to get that podium finish? Blue, beautiful takedown. Fright, 4 Kings now being sliced down one after the other. It is going to be the players of Vagabonds Esports from the back. And Nash with an amazing grenade from afar manages to knock Trey down onto the ground. Almighty Prime turns things around onto Spinks. It is going to be easy. Reborn Esports Magna now getting taken down one after the other. But Bayers from the side of Vagabonds Esports, 16 kills so far. They want to bring out that consistency that we were looking out for the earlier on Neptune.
And here we have it. It's a 1v4 situation once again. And Peanut will try to survive right here. But there is no question that the 1v4 is on the side of Vagabonds Esports. And there you have it. Yet once again, Vagabonds Esports take that number 1. And it is because of good positioning as well as great strategy. And Vagabonds Esports will not be stopped that easily if they continue this on.
Yeah, 7 kills now, Neptune. And it is just amazing how Vagabonds Esports are able to keep up this sort of a consistency with them. My little puppy was whining, so I had to pick her up so that she does not disturb the broadcast. My apologies. Isn't she so cute, Neptune?
Yeah, I mean, really cute. I would like to bring in my puppy right here, but she's not that behaved. So good on you, AJ. Good on you.
Like father, like daughter.
Are you saying that I'm not that behaved?
I don't know. You said it, man. Vagabonds Esports. Let's take a look at the breakdown here. My goodness, Luki, Yato, Nash, just the 4 of them together. 12 kills on their side, and including Blue, that's 18 kills. 28 points from this round. But at RX 420, the baby dinosaurs, they find the performance this time round before the day is over for sure, grabbing a total of 5 kills for themselves in that second spot. All thanks to the survivability of Peanut. Although he could not provide those kill points out there, he has managed to pick up that very, very precious 6 points that NRX 420 most definitely need out there to continue climbing up the leaderboard. Almighty Prime, on the other hand, with the 3rd spot with a total of 5 points for themselves. Easy Reborn Esports Magna. My goodness, this team is performing once again. We asked for the placement points in the past at the semifinals. They started providing it. And now the grand finals as well, they're providing it. And this is just impressive because some of the bigger teams themselves are not able to sustain themselves out there on the battlefield for this long. 4 Kings, keeping up the pressure that they have on the other teams. 5th spot, yes, there is some placement points here left for them. Alongside 6 skills will keep them alive in the competition to challenge for that number 2 spot for now, at least. Vagabonds Nomads up in that 6th position with a supreme number of 16 kills to their side. What in the world did they eat just before this lobby, Neptune?
Yeah, I think they're just answering the question of where they are right now on the kills. Where are they right now in the placement? And this is what they want to show us right now. They're not out just yet. They can still deliver on the kills. It just so happened that they have been taken down in there early and they were able, or they weren't able to get in the top 5 of this room. But it's still a good performance for Vagabond Snowmans. This is a response to the question by not just by us, but also for the fans out there. If they can still bring out the Vagabond Snowmans that we've seen from semifinals, this is the response. And I think a lot more will be happening in here as we move along onto the other rounds. But going in on 13 Academy, they have good position. And I think with that, with the battle earlier that's happening, the waiting has pulled them with the kills. Thus, they didn't get that much compared to the others, but seven kills as well as seven placement is not that bad. It's not that bad for this team. They still remain consistent with the kills as well as placement. But a metaverse, on the other hand, is a little bit too low on the placement, and the kills is not showing up right here. So I'm still waiting for the aggression that
Mm,
we used to see from a metaverse esports, especially
yeah.
from their captain Rosa, and how will that affect the performance of the team as well as the other teams who are using that already in this game.
Time is running out, though. It is high time they start bringing out those power plays on their side. Amethyst Esports, a lot of promise in the team, but if it does not show on the leaderboard, then there's just nothing much to shout about. He Phoenix, beautiful performance this time around as they continue climbing up the leaderboard ever so slowly. And they did have 39 points to their name earlier on, with the 2 kill points that they pick up this time around. That's all they will be bagging from this particular lobby. From the ninth spot onwards, there's no placement points at all. So you only have to depend on the kills that you have picked up there on the battlefield. And that is why BBB Esports BD will not be too worried. They've got a total of 11 kills. That means 11 points from this lobby, which is quite the solid performance. All three BBB squads just finishing up beside each other because of the engagement between them that we
Yeah.
saw out there on the battlefield. I mean, there's just no chill coming through from all of these players, man. Brothers or not, they will go ahead to slay. No favoritism whatsoever. 4 kills picked up here by the one and only BBB Esports Vici. And of course, as we spot the players of BBB Esports Veni this time around, after winning that number one spot, they're back to their usual ways of not really doing all that too well. Just that 1 kill point for themselves. ABC Mystic, well, the struggle continues for MYSG, but I still believe in the supremacy of Chalup. I still believe in the positioning that Prime usually brings into the game and manages to take all of those kills. But Chalup, he needs to lead the team into better positions. He needs to lead the team into better engagements out there. They're getting involved in gunfights a little bit too early, match after match after match. And I'm just surprised the IQ plays of these players have not kicked in just yet. Royal Kings Neptune in the 14th spot with a single point in there. And of course, Existence, nothing to their name. But SDPH, they grab one. Not a lot at all at the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, getting one compared to those who will not getting any points on the placement as well as the kills is, I would say, a little bit better. But a little bit more can be done by these teams, especially for those who have good positioning advantage already, and just need to focus more on getting in a matter of approach against a different team. But the Four Kings, I would say, I would still commend them on how much they put out in each game to be able to survive longer and longer, even if they are not going away from their usual tactic that has been read. It is, I would say, now 50-50 on a chance that Alatsky will be able to get those choppers. But just in case he does, a lot of teams will be waiting for them to make that mistake and then gunning them down. Thus, I
Yeah.
think that is the lost opportunity for them because the vehicle gameplay and information gameplay that is being done with the chopper on their side is not working anymore, and it is now putting them in a very difficult spot in the finals.
Yeah, but it was quite amazing to see Peanut just play the game of survival, even in that final circle, managing to take the cheap shot, managing to get 1 kill for himself. But, the run would end quite prematurely for the side of Almighty Prime, as they were the first ones that the Vagabonds esports spotted in that final circle. And just when you thought that they would turn their attention to NRX 420, Peanut stayed well hidden behind the circle, and he just hopped on out, not wanting to give away that final kill. But unfortunately for him, he just jumps straight into battle, and Yato grabs that final kill point. Peanut wasn't able to avoid that, but Vagabonds Esports cannot avoid winning. They go back to their winning ways, and now they pick up the second victory of the day. compared to the 5 that they picked up yesterday, not as impressive, but 7
Mhm.
wins overall makes them the most dominant, the most impressive, the most aggressive team out there in terms of proving themselves with consistency.
Yeah, definitely with the consistency itself from these teams, and even if they're not getting that much on the placement because of
Yeah.
the of not taking number one, they are still consistently in their way. If I'm not mistaken, they're very very close to get the 200 mark on the points, wherein only a few has just crossed number
Yes.
one or the 100 spot. So it's still a complete dominance from Vagabonds Esports, no questions asked, because
Yep.
of how they have been performing round after round. Probably not better compared to the previous ones, but still better than the others. And that is what is
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, 7 kills in comparison to other teams who have only picked up like 1 apiece for themselves. The players of Vagabonds Esports not only prove themselves out there, but they are outclassing everybody else. But for all of you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we need to still continuously thank you for your support for this broadcast. Thank you for those likes and shares. Here is once again the dystopian crate. Grab this code, throw it into the redemption center, and get the crate for yourself. And I wish you guys sign up all because I tried to redeem the crate earlier on. I got the premium price, man. So I'm happy. From the Epic Crate, I got the price. So I'm all good. I'm all fine. But Vagabonds Esports, a lot of questions were thrown towards them. A lot of I guess teases,
Mhm.
asking how good will they truly be out there during the grand finals. I guess good enough to pick up close to 200 points before even ending day number 2. So yesterday they hit 100 points, bro, in day number 1 itself. And today to exceed the 200 points, whilst all of the other teams, barely have managed to reach 100 points in day 2. That's who Vagabonds Esports are. Let's take a quick short break. When we come back, it's going to be round number 5.
Oh, ano ng plano mga lods? Last 2 squads na lang.
Basta high ground lang ako, Ate Char. Cover ko kayo. Sige, sige. Sunod lang ako sa inyo.
Ha? Wait lang. Nasaan na ba kayo?
Ang gulo-gulo nyo naman eh. Si Bugoy ang layo, tapos si IZ walang ambag. Tapos ito naman si Doxy, hindi niya nga alam kung ano nangyayari.
Wala lang. Kaya-kaya natin to. Oh, ayun yung last code, ah.
Down 3 na, isa na lang.
Guys, nasaan yung last? Ay, hassle. Nasa likod ko pala. Hala, sniper siya. Ingat kayo, ha. Ingat kayo.
Doxy, ikaw na lang last survivor natin.
Oo, kaya mo yan.
Guys, di ko alam kung nasan siya.
Kami bahala. Sasabihin namin kung nandiyan na siya. Kaya mo yan. Nagbiwan nila.
Nadawan ko siya. Guys, nanalo tayo!
Yes! Yun! Doxy, grabe. Ang galing mo, Doko.
Yun! Nanalo rin!
O ano guys? Isa pa?
And the dominance of Vagabonds Esports goes on to continue at the Garena Survivors. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is day number 2 of the finals. And my name's AJ. I'm the Mustache down here with Neptune, the Gentleman Garcia, your shoutcasters to bring you all of the hottest action from the battlefield.
Yeah, and we've seen so much from Vagabonds Esports as well as the other teams who have improved so far compared to number 1 or day number 1. And a lot more will be happening right here on this next tour round. And how much improvement can they do? Is that enough to really reach the high spot that Vagabonds Esports had already maintained? That has yet to be seen. If say Vagabonds Esports will be taken down early, which I really doubt because of how well they position themselves, then that might be a chance for them. But if not, then it might still be complete dominance by the Kings.
And you know, Vagabonds Esports have just been so consistent, man. I don't know, even if they do get taken down, like in the next 2 matches, they don't even play. If they fall asleep now at their phones, if they don't even join the matchup, they're still going to be in the number 1 spot. Nobody is going to be able to replace them just yet. But I don't think Vagabonds Esports are planning to slow down. Let's take a look at the leaderboards and see the dominance that the current king of kings of Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale have. 81 placement points, 109 kill points up there on the leaderboard for 190 points. And the closest ones to them is Almighty Prime at 116. Like I said earlier on Neptune, before we led this into the break, when other teams are barely even reaching that 100-point mark, Vagabonds Esports are just 1 match away from hitting 200.
Yeah, I mean, for the side of Almighty Prime, if in case they didn't get that, if in case the win of Almighty Prime has been taken by Vagabonds Esports, they already have hit that 100 mark, and it's no surprise as well as a little saddening for the other teams who are really aiming to show up and show us that they are the new kings. They are in here to take over the reins of Vagabonds Esports. But semifinals, yes, you might have that assumption, but the finals is here and there's no holding back for Vagabonds Esports. Thus, Almighty Prime, the 4 Kings, the 3rd Academy, as well as the 2 teams of VVV, Vici, and VD will be left in there just 5 spots below them. And it's very difficult for them to really catch on because so far the tactics is unmatched compared to Vagabonds Esports.
Oh, yeah, no doubt at all, right? In terms of what Vagabonds Esports have managed to do out there, we do understand that, you know, you guys want us to talk about a little bit about the other teams, but how do you not talk about the supreme Vagabonds Esports? How do you not talk about the dominance that they have over all of these other teams that are most definitely very dominant on the usual scene out there, right? Because the class that Vagabonds Esports is in right now is in a class of their own. We talked a little bit about how the rivalry between the 4 Kings and NRX 420 was so heated and it was so hyped up in the scene. But the assumption that I made back then when I broke down the rivalry between these 2 teams was that they need to be careful. They need to be wary because no matter how much they bash their heads up against each other, they're just going to have big brothers Vagabonds Esports with their arms crossed, looking at both of them and shaking their heads in disagreement because, boys, don't fight with each other. Come for my throne. That's what Vagabonds Esports wants because right now, I can tell you, Vagabonds Esports, they're getting a little bored up there in the leaderboard, man.
Yeah, I mean, being there at the top alone is very boring, I would say, because it's more of how much challenge can they get, how many can challenge them on that spot, and regardless of that, even if it's not a complete dominance, even if you challenge Vagabonds Esports on a team versus team, the supreme position that they have taken every time they jump into the lobby is really very difficult for teams to take down. I mean, they might be able to take down 1, but the moment Vagabonds Esports pull away and get that 1 member back, it's very difficult to find them as well. So it's Vagabonds Esports just doing very well in there on the gameplay. But this time it is a chopper steal, but by a different member in Alaski will be running right now. And AJ, just let me do this. Alaski, lakad matatag!
Oh, goodness me. Alatsky, he needs to learn, bro. He needs to learn that he cannot play the exact same trick more than once because other teams are learning from the great Alatsky. Other teams want to play the exact same strategy as well. And Alatsky now, all alone, needs to wait for the rest of his team members to come and fetch him because he's not going to be able to use that blue Fiat out there. He needs to travel on foot.
Yeah, I mean, Lasky, the gameplay is already failing, and they need to smart up a little bit. They might need to get, I don't know, just go into a spot wherein chopper is already available, wherein you don't have to split up. Because the moment that they split up and been taken down, it puts up a lot of pressure for the remaining members of the team to pick you back up because of the dependency as well of each, like, of the whole team for each member going in there for 3 battles. We've seen that, like how other teams have taken difficulty, even if they're in a roll and then they lost one of their members, they need to slow down a little bit. And that is not a gameplay that you put out in the finals, AJ.
And, well, there are the strategies that these teams have already planned, but obviously whether or not they work out there on the battlefield is what we're concerned about. And I see where you're coming from, Neptune, because yes, you can strategize a certain play, but the moment you see that it's not working, the moment that you see that game plan going south, you need to readjust. You need to come up with a different plan, like you said earlier on. Plan A, B, C, D, all the way down to Z. You need to start playing different strategies. At the moment, it's starting to seem like the Four Kings only know that one strategy at the start of Blackout, which is unacceptable for a team that is so capable of doing so much more. Hopefully, they find a different play because it's going to be quite sad to see Alatsky go down again and then the whole team scramble to pick up his dog tag and then get wiped up so early in the round. And you know that's not going to serve up the Four Kings well at all. Yesterday, they did very well to finish up the second spot, but little by little now, they lose their standing and they currently sit in the third position. And Almighty Prime has managed to very easily outmaneuver them. And if you look at the positioning as well as the movements of Almighty Prime, they're not going to break up. They're not going to, just move on with a solo play in terms of, grabbing a vehicle for themselves. Whatever they try to do out there, they do it together as one squad. And that's just going to bring them all the way to the final circle time and time again, Neptune.
Yeah, but no questions right now in there on the gameplay of VVV right here. Regardless of who goes against them, they are battling it on. And the chopper will be taken down in there by yet another team of VVV. So this is VVV going against yet another team, Benny, on this fight. And Vidi will be moving away on this battle. Sorak will be taken down in there by AD with the help of Jesuo. And that's one man down already. Duda in there, finishing up with that vehicle gameplay, but Duda will be pushing in White, and White will be sitting in there. Oh, will be letting go of that vehicle because it drives into the water, and all they have to do right now is wait for Duda to move up and show his head to be gunned down by 3 members who is waiting. It's a good thing that the other members of this team is backing him off from the other side. Thus, they have a complete dominance of their position, not to be gunned down that easily. And 1 kill already for VVV side. They will be able to back down and back away from this fight, as well as to get a vehicle for themselves to go in for a different plan of approach, AJ.
Yeah, here comes the primal attack from the side of Almighty Prime. Hang in. He has got the wind of arrogance in some of his plays because he's just that damn good. But now against multiple players on the side of Almighty Prime, all he can do is get taken down. VVV Ard manages to back Sekre as well off screen. Then the battle between the 2 VVV squads will go ahead to continue. But he, Phoenix, out of nowhere, rises from the ashes to be standing straight in front of Almighty Prime. Hopefully, they do not get burnt in here. But they've got the numbers now going up against Almighty Prime. It is going to be the smoke bomber on for the play. GB repositions, jumps on outside of the house, tries to get up top on the roof, but has got no vantage point to climb up at all. So Gray has been spotted, but GB focuses on recovering that armor first. And now, this is going to be the positioning play. Has got the KRM in hand, but does not want to drop down. Waits for the players of He Phoenix to come in for the push, and an assassin might be able to do exactly that. So Gray jumps out, and it will be GB who repositions, but a great PPSH chase as well as shut down as He Phoenix rises from the ashes.
like Phoenix, there's no question that they go in for the battle, but we've already pointed out at some point that aggression is not a thing that they can bring them up on the up high on the leaderboard. But I don't think that's the case for HE Phoenix right now. They just want to show aggression to get kills, and then with the tactics themselves, it's working. I mean, the vehicle gameplay, going in for the push and then taking down a team, if in case they fail, it's not. I mean, it's not that much to demotivate them. It's just that I think they're just happy to be stepping into grand finals battleground against these teams, and that is what they're showing right now. But on the other side, Right will be taken down by Chase on the 1v1, and Four Kings again is in a pinch.
Oh, drop shot, but Tokyo, once again, he goes into hit with that rewind glass, picks up the dog tag. Fright will be scanned through. Only 30 plus seconds to wait for his partner. Alatsky, Assassin down underwater. But as Assassin goes in to dive a little bit deeper, the rest of the players from Phoenix joins him as well. They all won that airdrop, but now they battle the players of Four Kings for this airdrop play. Alatsky keeping the pressure on all of them, not letting them surface to take a gulp of air. NRX 420 on the other hand, they engage with Vagabond's esports. Boji with a god nade onto Yato. A lot is happening out here on the battlefield, Neptune.
Yeah, it's expected because a lot of teams need to catch up on the points right now, but the battle is not yet ending for HE Phoenix and Four Kings. Oh, despite of losing Fright in the battle, Four Kings is still putting a lot of pressure for this team, and the duo of Kyun and Tokyo might be moving in, and Assassin right now getting information will be backing out because of using that rewind class, and Sucre on the other hand might be flanking in on the other side as well. Now 4 members of HE Phoenix will be moving in the same direction, and how much more can they damage can they take from this fight? An FHJ in there being used by Kyun, but will not hit that well, and it will put Kyun in difficult position right now as all 4 members goes in for the rush, but the smoke will be able to cover his escape, and Kyun, I believe, will still live another day.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And they disengage from this battle. But Phoenix, what an impressive feat. Managing to go in there, grab their stuff from the airdrop, and then get away from the Four Kings in all intact. Not a single player has been dropped. But Vagabond's Nomads off screen. Four Kings now engaged with Almighty Prime. Phoenix still trying to take position up top on this roof. But production, we need to move.
Yeah, we need to move. We need to see all the battle, all the engagement is happening right now. And Chase is in here on the other side going solo. And they are going against the Four Kings. And if I'm not mistaken, this is all 4 members of Four Kings right now in a rush. 3 in a snowboard, 1 a vehicle. I guess he has been left out on the vehicle distribution, on the snowboard distribution, because he will be left in there just driving when the others are just gliding. But he will still be taking the lead because how fast that ORV is. They will leave the rest of the snowboards behind, and they will not be able to continue the engagement that they have, but they need to look for a fight. They need to get those fights in, and as well as the kill points for their name to be able to prove that they have not yet been out just yet for the blackout match.
Existence Valhalla now trying to cut off the players of Four Kings. Or is it the Four Kings trying to cut off Existence? 1 SMRS will get its hit, but does not take that player down just yet. And they will find a little bit of defense behind that boulder. 1 God nade coming out. Is it gonna bag anyone? It is a smoke that obscures the vision of the players of Existence Valhalla. Alatsky now with the climb. Yanara gonna get taken out of the equation, whereas the other players from the side of Existence, they scramble. Tokyo did manage to get that knock initially earlier on, and now Fright for the chase as well. Kyun, as he hunts one with the ATV, finds absolutely no one on his side just yet. A quick pickup on Fright, and they will potentially gatekeep this dog tag.
Yeah, the dog tag has been gate kept, and will they be using the same tactic that has been used against them, exploding that dog tag or that vehicle on top of the dog tag? But no, I don't think so. I mean, they might not go for that approach because they hate it that much that they will be going in for a different approach right here against VVV. Oh, once again, VVV right now, the ones who gave them pressure earlier on. And the chopper will be used right now by 13 Academy, but the information gameplay has been done already, and FHJ will not hit that much. On the other side, ABC the Stick is still in the fight against Vagabonds, Nomads, and Pogs. Because of that, a lot of members of ABC will be able to gun him down, and we'll have to see. how much more of this team will be surviving. But a lot of fight has been happening as a tag will be put into play, AJ.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And Phoenix now taking the ultimate revenge against the players of Four Kings as they shut down Fright. But no kill just yet. I believe it was just a knock that came through. Timothy takes Chalouk out of the equation as Phoenix continues to pressure all the players out there on the battlefield. How much will they be able to bag as this tank is parked up on top this hill? They have the vantage point. 7 seconds to go now for the next revive flight to make its way back in here. Amethyst Esports with a very risky play. They trigger that trap and now they get slowed down. Information gets sent out, but who laid that trap out there? We don't know because it's just all out chaos in terms of the number of teams out there within the same compound.
Yeah, it's a similar that we've seen earlier on the first map of Blackout, but this time Metaverse will be able to take a flank against ABC Mystic. Will they be successful in taking them down? The trap still being laid around, and it is making it difficult for a Metaverse right now to go rush in. And Timothy will be going in. I think they have backed them down already. And ABC Mystic will just have to go in that play. Timothy in there with a hacker gameplay, and the Prime will be in there. Out it is in this game. Oh no, almost out, but it is Rogue will be taken down. Prime will be taken down, and it's now one left. It's Jew right now, AJ.
Jude, beautiful play so far. Narosa though, as he tries to back away. Rold is still alive and kicking. He tries to get away from all of this battle, but 3 dog tags out there in the open. He needs to make a play. He needs to pull it back in to get that scan, but will he be able to survive to pull this off? We need to hang back and check out exactly what he pulls off a little bit later on, ladies and gentlemen, but as you can see, a little bit of a remnant of firing range potentially in this particular engagement at this battlefield here. Let's see exactly what Royal Kings will be able to pull off as they find themselves now in the middle of all of that action as all of the other teams back away slowly.
Yeah, I mean, I think Royal Kings has a lot to contribute in this fight as well. And probably not starting it, but finishing it off. And they were able to push out some of the teams, and they are still maintaining it because we've seen a lot of dog tags already in play, and they want to take advantage of that moment. But as they got 7 kills on that fight, how much more will they be able to carry to their name? Because a lot of teams are still alive. 14 teams are still alive and kicking, and 46 soldier fighting. But Instinct on the other side has sided Almighty, and Quasi will be stepping out of that car and will be walking into the barn as cover for that team of Almighty.
Yeah, that's key. Great takedown onto Blanc. It is going to be the Four Kings now popping off out there on the battlefield, but a little too early of a takedown can prove to be very, very risky. Blue shut down by Existence Valhalla. The battle still continue. Four Kings, Alatsky, repositioned. The next one might just be NRX 420. The battle I've been waiting for all this competition at the finals, but it will not happen just yet. Yato, as he backs away, Paul bags that backstab, and he gets taken down, and the players of Vagabonds Esports continue to struggle. But the Four Kings, I think they know what's happening. Kape gets Alatsky, puts him on the ground, and now will the Four Kings respond? Will they retaliate?
And we'll have to see how well this play is going to go. And Kape has been taken down as well by Sekre, a different team in here. BBB. Boji right now is going for the rush. And the rest of the teams, the Four Kings, is going in for the pull-out, leaving Alaski in there in the ground. The pickup, I think, has not yet been made. And Alaski will be taken down in here by Boji. But the flank by Fright is in there, might be able to backstab them. And we'll have to wait and see as the airdrop will be the priority of the teams. And waiting for Kape right now, 420 is doing in a smart move to be able to go against the Four Kings because they need all 4 members. Just make sure that they can show complete dominance in this game.
I don't know about that play, man, because I really didn't like the fact that NRX 420 finished off the player on the side of Four Kings. They should have just used that player on the ground to bait out more players on the side of Four Kings. That was just a lost opportunity. And now, as they try to in a very quick scan of that dog tag, and you can see the players right back in here with the mix. NRX 420 now with the supremacy out there. But here comes that revenge gameplay from Four Kings. Tokyo repositions. He takes that backstab position and then quickly rewinds so that he can reset exactly where he is out there on the battlefield. And this battle is still on a setup. NRX 420 versus the Four Kings. It's just a matter of time now before they re-engage.
And here we go. We have 2 members in here for 420, Kape and Kentaro on the left-hand side, and 1 on the right. We'll have to see who will get a better play in this fight, a little bit more aggressive for the side of NRX 420, and this might be the trap that will be played by Four Kings right now. Kintaro will be backing out in there with that rewind class, but Kyun will be spotted, but Kintaro will be missing that shot and needs to relocate once again, but the backstab in there against Sprite will be a lot of damage, but there goes the get back, and there is still no taking them down. Tokyo has been taken down. The pickup will be done, but the same thing is happening on the other side. But this time, Pride will be out as well. Alatsky and Yoon right now is the only one left for Four Kings.
And Boji now might get backstabbed here by Alatsky. Here comes NRX 420. This is that engagement everybody has been waiting for. Peanut! Beautiful slay onto Kyun, but he loses all of his armor. Needs to rebuff himself back up, and he sends the rest of his players right into battle as Peanut now tries to recover a little bit of his armor. NRX 420, they take the high ground to pressure the rest of the players of Four Kings, but they are all gone. They've all backed away. They've left that one dog tag out there on the battlefield, and Luki now off screen gets taken down by Almighty Prime. This battle, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, has been hot from the get-go, but 12 teams still alive and kicking out there. It's almost as if nothing has changed on the battlefield, Neptune, but 29 players are still remaining, which means in the 12 teams, it's not gonna be all complete. They are down in a lot of numbers.
Yeah, a lot of numbers has been going down in there, and I think the last team that has been eliminated is Vagabonds Nomads. So we'll have to see how well will they be able to move up, because they haven't performed that much compared to what we've seen so far and expected so far from them. Existence right now going in for HE Phoenix, and because of the positioning of the team as well as the placement of this safe zone, it is a lot of teams who will be battling out left and right, as most will be able to cover the approach of NRX 420, but VVV still remains to the high ground, getting good position, waiting for information before following it through.
Yeah, my question is mainly where are the Four Kings? Did they already get taken down? Kape now shut down by the one and only Duda, and here comes Team G. It is the one and only BBB Esports Veni, and now yet another rewind hit by Duda as they go into strike. NRX 420 now facing them off, but they quickly double back down and reposition as they do not want to take an aggressive fight. Kape, he is not going to be joining us anytime soon. 6 more teams left out there in this tiny circle, and Dre is going to be pressured as he holds on to the very edge. Peanut with the pressure, and the knock doesn't come through just yet, but another BBB squad right behind them, and NRX 420 changes their focus, and Boji turns around, shuts down J Swole through the smoke. Now this smoke bomber, Peanut, will continue pressuring all of them, and NRX 420 have done a lot in this lobby, picking up 14 kills.
Ooh.
The baby dinosaurs are waking up.
Yeah, they are waking up. 4 teams remaining in this fight, and it is NRX 420 right now doing some damage against these teams. 15 kills already in this game, and they still have 4 enemies in front of them. Oh no, that is 5 enemies in front of them. Kape has already been taken down right now, but the 3 members of NRX 420, I believe they're still that strong to go against this team. 2 members from VVV right now on the left-hand side, and Kentaro will go for a backstab, and no! Duda was able to take him down right now, but the follow-up from Peanut is in there. The rewind class, use it to back away, and the rest of 420 might go in for the pickup. Boji right now has been tasked in there, and Boji taking down Duda into the fight, but no, Kintaro is still down, and Boji and Peanut needs to move into the pond.
Sangala Peanut ran outside of the zone, lost too much of his HP, and he gets taken down very easily by the players of BBV. And Debu, here comes Existence Valhalla. They were waiting for the final moments, and now they hunt down Kintaro. It is not going to be a possibility for Kintaro to survive this and shut down all the players of Existence Valhalla. The numbers game just a little bit too much. KKPG now brings out the spotter. It is going to be Boji still alive and kicking in here, taking on 3 players all on his own. Existence Valhalla will try to slay him, and the Wonder Kid with the ninja repositions, zigzags through, but Debu gets the final slay, and with 10 kills in hand, Existence Valhalla grab the victory.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that a lot of teams has been taking the win in here for day number 2. This really proves that the teams are making great strides to improve round after round, and as well as from what we see. NRX 420 was not bombing out in there. They might not have gotten and taken that number 1, but we have seen a lot of improvements from them, especially for the kills that they've gathered from that game.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Earlier on, we did ask for a little bit more supremacy from the players of ABC Mystic, but unfortunately, they were the first ones to bomb out. Let's take a look at the game's breakdown and see the performance of the team. Once again, 10 points from the kills out of Existence Valhalla, alongside 10 points from the placement, gives them 20 from this round. In Existence Valhalla, they were behind the players of NRX 420 earlier on, and they will be able to climb up just a little bit. But this time, the Wonder Kid, Bolji,
Ooh.
manages to get the 11 kills to help the team beef themselves up and climb up the leaderboard. And 5 from Peanut as well as Scape, which gives them a total of 16 kills plus 6, which is a total of 22 points overall in this lobby. Team 7 here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is going to be a great play once again from Team VVV Veni as they get a total of 12 kills for themselves in the third spot. And Team 13 Academy down here at the fourth placement, but quite a good positioning as well. Sorry, quite good placement points as well as good kills. A total of 12 for them as well, nephew.
Yep, and following them would be VVV. This VVV Vici right now, not that much on to the kills. It's only 4 for them, but taking the 5 spot or the 5th spot right now, and the placement that will give them is still a good stride to be able to bring them a little bit more points to the leaderboards. And unfortunate for Vagabonds Esports when we were praising them, and well, actually, I think this is on us, AJ, because we challenged the other teams to take them out, and
Yeah.
I think this is what happened. They have
Yeah.
been they have been taken out one at a time, and I'm just assuming this. They
Mm.
have been taken down one at a time, and that is why they are not getting that much kills. Only Luki
Yeah.
got one in there, as well as 6 on the place, or number 6 on the position. So it is still good on the other teams to be able to gun them down and not make them recover as much points as they have to, I mean, increase the lead
Yeah.
compared to what
Yeah.
we've seen earlier.
And I also feel like Vagabonds Esports heard me loud and clear earlier on when I said they don't even need to play the final 2 games. And they were like, okay, Mustachio, if that's what you want, let's go.
Are they
They don't
sleeping,
need to
AJ?
do. I think they might be sleeping, except Liuki. He just dozed off right after he got that 1 kill. But it's not going to hurt Vagabonds Esports at all. And
Mhm.
getting the 6th position for themselves is all right in terms of placement points. But what they've managed to do over 2 days of play so far is exactly what is going to keep them at the very top. Amateurs Esports, 7th spot this time round. The struggle continues for this brand. 4 kills overall. STPH, on the other hand, with the 8th position alongside 2 kills. 9th spot onwards, you do not have any placement points there, so it's all about the kills. So HE Phoenix, although it was amazing in terms of survivability, they went in there for the re-engage against the 4 Kings, but they just could not pick up more points in terms of kills as well as placement. So a little unfortunate for the Phoenix squad. They bomb out at the 9th spot. Almighty Prime this time round, surprisingly, taken out in the 10th position, but they do have 6 kills to their name. So that's going to go into their points collection. 4 Kings in the 11th spot with a total of 4 kills for themselves. No, they weren't going for a pun. They did try a little bit hard out there, but it's just wasn't their round in here. And of course, team number 6 in here, Team VVV Esports VD, with a total of 0 kills in the 12th spot.
Yeah, and a lot of failures from the teams that we are expecting, and we just have. I mean, I just have to wait for the moment for that instance wherein the 4 Kings will be able to let go of the chopper gameplay, and
Yeah.
and we'll have to see if they let go of that gameplay and they work it out and end up on the final moment to be able to get a win in this game. And I think that would answer if that is really working or not. But as we move
Yeah.
down the list, we have Backbone's Nomads right now. When we asked earlier where they are,
Yeah.
they responded, but this time I think they also dozed off. So I don't know what's happening with Vagabonds and Nomads. The consistency is not there. And comparing to Royal
Yeah.
Kings right here, a lot of kills with 9 already. ABC in there with 2, as well as Easy Reborn in there with 2. So we'll have to see how well will this end up on the leaderboards as
Yeah.
we look into the highlights. And this is more of a replay to get us a better view of what happened in this area, because a lot is
Yeah.
happening, AJ, and it got a little confusing.
Yeah, I just can't help but think that the accusations of teaming up has affected the confidence as well as, a little bit of the firepower that Vagabonds Nomads brings out there onto the battlefield. But the boys just need to remember this. They can't allow some comments in the comment section to bring down their spirit, because at the end of the day, regardless of how they feel, it is their performance on the battlefield that they will be judged upon. So regardless of what people say out there, if they really want to make a strong comeback and prove the naysayers wrong, they need to perform out there on the battlefield. But at the moment, that just does not seem to come through. So this is my challenge for Vagabonds Nomads. Show me what you got and show us exactly how you can climb up back the leaderboard before the day is over, because we still have got one more round in there, and the supreme Vagabonds Nomads that we know of that truly have Blackout to call their home just has not been performing at all. But they still do have opportunities today as well as tomorrow to make amends for some of their decisions that they have pulled off in the final so far, because this team is very, very, very far off from the performance that they showed us at the semifinals too. Once again, I have to stress that Vagabonds Nomads not only outdid every single other team in semifinals too, but they even outdid Vagabonds Esports.
Yeah. And another team that has outdid themselves in this finals is NRX 420. So far, I think this is one of the it looks like a replay of what we've seen them when we call them out. Round number 5 is their game. Round number 6 is their game. It just so happened that they have been taken down this fight against this remaining teams in here battling it out. Thus, they will not be able to take that number 1 spot. But if they have, it will look similar, because with the kills itself, they have been going in with good positions already, but it's existence right now with a 4-man team and the numbers game will always put into play that even if you are in there strong but you are alone, you can be taken down by a lot of members in here from existence.
Yeah, and as NRX 420 continued their beautiful stride out there, they thought that they would be able to bag this victory, but unfortunately, things turned around. Existence Valhalla, they stayed hidden all throughout that final zone battle, and they struck only when the time was right, when they knew that there were not many other players out there on the battlefield, and that just increased their chances to grab the extra 4 points with that number 1 spot, and they did exactly that. Amazing with the decision making out there on the battlefield, and this is something that NRX 420 can perhaps learn from, to just play the game of patience towards the very end, because they were so close to victory, and then they faltered once again as that panic button hit.
Yeah, I mean it's a more of a getting a good grip of the situation before going the rush. I think they rush into a team right there. Thus, they have been taken down one at a time, and because of the situation as well, that it's the final stretch. Recovery is very difficult for that moment. It will be very tight for some of the teams who are just dependent on the pickup after a knockdown. Thus, they will need to be a little bit more smarter for every approach that they have to go into, especially on that final moment wherein the 10 points that they can get on the number 1 spot can bring in a lot of points for them to move up the leaderboard.
Absolutely, man. But of course, as all of these teams continue to struggle out there, Vagabonds Esports, still, their arms crossed. They are looking down upon everybody else. Not looking down on them, but, they are unfortunately at the tallest peak of this mountain, and they're just looking down and waiting to see exactly when will someone catch up with them. Doesn't seem to be happening today, maybe tomorrow, but we still have got one more game. Let's see exactly how that breaks down. But before that, a quick break. We'll be right back.
Oh, ano ng plano mga Lods? Last 2 squads na lang.
Basta high ground lang ako, Ate Char. Cover ko kayo. Sige, sunod lang ako sa inyo.
Ha? Wait lang. Nasaan na ba kayo?
Ang gulo-gulo nyo naman eh. Si Bugoy ang layo. Tapos si IZ walang ambag. Tapos ito naman si Doxy, hindi niya nga alam kung ano nangyayari.
Wala lang, kaya natin to. Oh, ayun yung last code ah.
Down 3 na, isa na lang.
Guys, nasaan yung last? Ay, hassle. Nasa likod ko pala. Ala, sniper sa ako. Ingat kayo.
Doxy, ikaw na lang last survivor natin.
Oo, kaya mo yan.
Guys, Di ko alam kung nasan siya.
Kami bahala. Sasabihin namin kung nandiyan na siya. Kaya mo yan. Ang biwo nila.
Nadoon ko siya. Guys, nanalo tayo!
Yes! Yun! Grabe! Ang galing mo, Dok!
Yun! Nanalo rin!
O ano guys? Isa pa?
Welcome back to the Garena Survivors Finals Day 2. And we are about to close this day with one more round and to play. And so far, Vagabonds Esports remain dominant in this game. But a lot of teams has already shown that they can also take the win. Who more can take that #1 spot? Have yet to be seen. We are your casters and hosts for today. I am Neptune the General Garcia with amazing Mustachio AJ right next to me right now, who will be showing you and also telling a story from us to your screens right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And Vagabonds Esports, they are just closer and closer to the 200 points, but it didn't happen in the previous matchup. Maybe in the next, they are just teasing us. But I know, I said you guys can fall asleep, Vagabonds, but I also want to see you guys break some records out there. I want to see the 200 points clutch alongside a victory. And also, the call out earlier on was for Vagabonds Nomads to wake the hell up. And hopefully they do exactly that this time round, because they have been, not really providing us with the performance that they did show us at the semifinals too. Let's take a look at the leaderboards to see exactly how all of the teams stack up against each other at the moment.
Yeah, let's check out how the leaderboards is going right now. Still number one, 193, just 1 point from their team that have gotten from the round number 5. But this time, Almighty Prime was able to move up a little bit with 122 points. 30 Academy was able to cross that 100 spot or 100 point mark with 112, ending in number 3. And the 4 Kings with 103 as well. And for all these teams, 2, 3, and 4, Almighty, 30 Academy, and 4 Kings, they are doing it with the kill points in their bag, and will have to wait the others to do the same, as they are just waiting for the chance, the opportunity to move up. But with VVV Esports BD as well as Vici and Vagabonds Nomads just real close right there, they might be in there for a play, because they might be pushed down later when these teams pop off.
Vagabonds Nomads, one of the biggest challenges in here that I have for them is to see whether or not they can slide into that 5th spot before the day is over. But over the dead bodies of VVV Esports VD as well as Vici, no pun intended, because they literally need to be dead bodies early on before Vagabonds Nomads can climb up the leaderboard. Amethyst Esports, on the other hand, in the 8th spot, 77 points down. They're just a single point behind Vagabonds Nomads. But it is the players of NRX 420 that we also have got our eyes on. 72 points right now. And just like what it was in the semis, each and every single matchup can shake things up near here towards the bottom 8, all the way down onto the 10th spot, I have to say,
Mhm.
because VVV Esports Veni, with one victory earlier on, did manage to climb up the leaderboard just a little bit, leaving the rest of them at the bottom, but they do not get more than that. Existence Valhalla sitting down in the 11th spot so far with the 60 points, followed by Royal Kings with the 43. He Phoenix with only 41 points at the 13th spot, followed by Easy Reborn Esports Magna, SDPH Generals, and ABC Mystic. But, I've already shouted out the two Vagabonds teams, NRX, but if there's one team that I really want to go out there and like pick a victory up for themselves, it has to be ABC Mystic, man. This team
Yeah.
is the only team representing MYSG out there, and they did prove themselves at the semis, but proving themselves at the grand finals is just proving to be quite the task out there, nephew.
Yeah, I mean, they have been given time already to study the movements of the teams as well as the approach for every game that they go into. But don't think that it's working so much this time because so far, ABC Mystic has been stopped in every instances that they will try to pop off. They might be able to take down one team, but later on, because of the engagement as well as the positioning, they will be taken down after the others. So we'll have to see how ABC Mystic will be able to climb through on the leaderboards. But I would say that Existence Valhalla, with the win that they have, they climbed up a little bit further compared to the other teams. So a win really brings out a team to higher into the leaderboards. How much will that happen for the side of 13 Academy and Four Kings, who have a chance to cross over and get closer behind Vagabonds Esports? But as we keep mentioning, AJ, Vagabonds Esports is
Mhm.
it's a very very long stride that a team
Yeah.
need to be able to overtake them on number one.
Oh yeah, and in terms of how much of effort Vagabonds Esports has put out there, you guys can see from the number of wins that they have taken. All of the other teams that have managed to secure a victory for themselves have not been able to keep up the supreme consistency that Vagabonds Esports have brought into the competition for this grand final so far. And that is most definitely what we expect from the King of Kings of Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale. Vagabonds Esports continuing to dominate, but will they be able to dominate in one last matchup before we wrap the day up? But either way, I am pretty sure they'll hit the 200-point mark this time, nephew.
Yeah, I'm hoping, and hopefully they will not be taken down early. So, whatever challenge they can that we can put out in this game, hopefully each team respond. But one challenge that we have put in out we have brought out is for the Four Kings to try a different approach. So far, they will stick with the approach that they are using, and this time they will be successful in this game, staying on estate, which is their home. They have circus right now. We've seen this gameplay already for Lasky, going in for the
Yeah.
chopper, go in circus, taking all the loots in this area for himself, preparing for this fight. But if that has been read by the other teams and go straight into that area, that might be another loss for the Four Kings. So I'm just hoping
Yeah.
for the best for the Four Kings to be able to pop off this time, because this is isolated and still a FFPP mode wherein the team is proficient. They are well versed, and we'll have yet to see them pop off really to be able to show us a little bit more that the Four Kings hasn't given up just yet for that ride to number one.
It's really nice to see the Four Kings just continuously pull off that strategy. But like you said, Neptune, some other teams can take advantage of their strategy as well. But there is a reason why the Four Kings are not too worried at all. Because as powerful as Alatsky is, all on his own, as he plays that chopper as well as early loots all solo, the other players are equally as talented. If anything is to go wrong, they can retrieve his dog tag. We've seen Tokyo do that already, but it is the kind of chaos that ensues after they start picking up, or they start moving towards picking up Alatsky's dog tag. You really cannot control the situation. You really cannot control the rotations of the other teams in that scenario. And that's exactly where they kind of had gotten caught out one too many times. So I'm not comfortable with them still maintaining that strategy, but if it brings them the points, why the heck not? But I mean, even as I say that, right, I cringe because the consistency of that play picking up points, it's just not there for me.
Yeah, it's not working anymore. I mean, it's probably a good highlight or probably a good stand for this team as well, that they will not be backing down regardless of any challenges that they've put into. The goal that they have set will still remain regardless of how many challenges they have been taken in there doing that. But it's also would be a good thing that the four kings will be able to show a little bit more of changes as well as progress towards the changes that they will be putting out, and that is a more of the motivation that is being done by other teams for the viewers out there who's studying the tactics from these teams. And if those tactics will not be working, and say it will be used by the viewers in ranked games, and knowing that, oh, we can counter that, we can find out where the chopper is and you might be stealing at, we can just take it away from you early on. But no taking away will be ABC Mystic and NRX 420, who's battling it out on this area of the downtown.
And as they move on in for the hit, it will be the high ground held on by ABC Mystic. They are taking the fight up against the one and only NRX 420. It's going to be a couple of cluster grenades tossed out here by Rogue, and that does not tag anybody up just yet. And NRX 420 just keeping a stronghold down under, and they are waiting for the players of ABC Mystic to come in here for the attack. But Rogue is just playing the better IQ play right up top, with just all of those grenades popping out one after the other. I asked for ABC Mystic to come out here and prove themselves, and they are doing exactly that with the first strike onto NRX 420. Can the MYSC squad bag more for themselves? Kintaro as well as Boji, they back away from the position of the team member that has just gotten taken down. But Kape very slowly now trying to flank around from the left-hand side, and Boji breaking away from the rest of the squad. If at all things were to go south, Boji can still pick up those dog tags later on. But Kape now holding on to his position right up top onto that second floor. Hopefully he doesn't get caught out just yet. Boji continues to loot up for himself, and Peanut scan brought right back in. Kape goes down this time round, and once again ABC Mystic strikes.
And there goes Cafe. And I think that is one grenade hit that was a suicide. And we'll have to find out how well NS 420 will be able to recover from this battle. ABC Mystic right now is still 4-man strong, but one team will be jumping in on this fight. This is VV Esports VD, who will be moving in and out of this battle because it's not yet over. Though the gunshots has stopped, they will not be able to jump in and vulture of this fight. But we have 4 Kings right now who is fighting against HE, and we'll see how HE will be able to respond, because they were able to take down Alatsky and Kyun, and it's only Kyun who will be scanned and who will be coming back.
Yeah, but it is also the Amethyst Esports players in here for the mix as well. Tokyo once again with the flight down, rewinds up top, and he gets the high ground position after scanning through his team member in here. Nerosa continues slaying outside, and as Amethyst Esports realizes that the 4 Kings are in the compound, they did manage to get that one knock, but they do not want to aggress on fourth. What's beautiful play with the trap that had been triggered, gets that extra bit of information, and that helps him slay the player right in front. And now, as Amethyst Esports controls this compound, the rest of the teams back away ever so slowly. And yes, we did see VBB Esports Vici getting closer to this launch base here, but even they double back down. They do not want to take these early engagements, and especially when Amethyst Esports is starting to light that fire up with that.
Yeah, the lighting fire right now, and how much more it will, how much brighter it will light will depend on them. But we still get back in here against ABC Mystic and NRX 420. One has been spotted, but Boji will not giving that out. We have a Prime in there who will be taken down, and we have Chelop in there taking on Boji with that hit with Odin. And let's see how well will this be played by Kintaro right now. Kintaro will be able to get away against Rogue, and Rogue right now will be going in on the other side. Now, is this a smart approach, because the safe zone will be moving in and the dog tags will be captured right now by Kintaro, and all they have to do is just get away as well as to go in for the scan. But Chelop will be in there rushing in as well. The flank is on, and the 2 members of ABC will be going in for the pinch, but Kintaro will not be caught that easily as he glides out on the side, and the remaining members of ABC will be waiting, and Jill right now is in there with a rewind.
Kintaro now spotted out by Rogue. Rogue with a backstab, but Kintaro just a little too slick. But all of this battle is happening outside of the zone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Although it is the very first circle, and Kintaro finally gets taken out of the equation. But we still have got Peanut left surviving in here. Are the players of ABC Mystic gonna gatekeep this dog tag? Prime moving on. Peanut might be able to bag him out of the equation. Prime needs to be really careful here. Sounds need to be played. Peanut from the back. Oh! And he takes a shot. Prime jumps on back in. Backstab. Backstab. Peanut down on the ground. Oh no, SMRS on the play. And Peanut backs away after he takes Silop out of the equation. But 3 players on the side of ABC Mystic now. Going in for the chase. Peanut fires right back and manages to take Rogue out of the equation. Who else wants to come and chase me? Peanut sets the challenge.
He is gatekeeping all that play, and Peanut right now is still alive and kicking on the other side once again. Will be able to get those dog tags and probably bring them back. We have Kape right now who will be flying in, but SMR's gameplay, Peanut will not be able to make that hit, but ABC will still be waiting for the challenge of Peanut right now. Prime is just moving in onto that lighthouse, but will be hit as well. And there you go. The zone will be helping them out, and ABC Mystic is having a little bit of trouble in this game, but Jude is the only one in there, and he needs to move a little bit because it will start to hurt regardless of how small the damage is. But it's so, it is a lot of time that he's spent already in this game.
ABC Mystic came so close to, making a name for themselves by slaying the players of NRX 420, but not if Peanut can help it, man. SMRS takedown first, repositions to the lighthouse, and then waits at the lighthouse, expecting the attack from ABC Mystic, sprays down one guy on the zip line, travels right back, and he just outplayed a full squad that was chasing him. That's exactly who Peanut is, and that's the kind of plays we want to see out of NRX 420. And now, Amethyst Esports hunting down the players of Four Kings. Nerosa just taking the wild sprays. Hip fire for the win. Cute, oi! The one round reset and then moves back in for the slay. Kyun taken down. Tokyo taken down. Four Kings about to get eliminated from the lobby, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. What a play by Amethyst Esports, who wake right back up. But look who's still alive. The one and only Alatsky. Earlier on, it was all of the players from the side of Four Kings picking up Alatsky's dog tag, but now it is Alatsky's job to go and bring the rest of his team members back in. But Captain Nerosa from the side of Amethyst Esports, not if he can help it, and he moves on in for the slay. But Alatsky repositions, amazing in terms of positioning. And now Alatsky anticipating this attack, does not take the shot just yet. Nerosa for the chase, backstab, Alatsky. It was good knowing you, bro. Straight into the Four Kings. They all fly. Big pressure for the cast. Backstab. Nerosa still hasn't slayed him yet.
Oh my goodness, Alatsky will be able to survive in there, but not for long. It is VVV who takes him down with that vehicle explosion. But still, that was a good play from Alatsky, but it didn't work out that well. Metaverse right now is in here, has a chance to go against a Royal Kings because they have been staying in that basement for quite so long right now. And they need to move up. But with that kill being done by VVV, they might be the next target of a Metaverse Esports. On the other side, we have 30 Academy and a battle against Vagabonds, Nomads, Pogs, as well as one more member has been taken down already. Glad has taken 2 kills, if I'm not mistaken. And a Metaverse right now, VVV Nomads is now left with only a few members. So we'll have to see how will that end with Vagabonds, Nomads right here. But VVV were still remaining on high ground. Their eyes is on a Metaverse Esports as well as might be Royal Kings, who is on that bus station.
Everybody who's watching the broadcast right now on Facebook, we have got 4,000 plus people watching, but only 1,300 shares. And here's the Mustachio offering one lucky winner 2,000 CP, man. Share the stream right now with the hashtag Mustachio, hashtag Garena Survivors. Those 2 hashtags need to be there. You can win yourself 2,000 CP. Let's get this up to 3,000 shares before this match is over. Let's go. Almighty Prime now with the chase. Dre drops Prime. It is gonna be the one and only ABC Mystic now on for the slay. Earlier on, they did manage to catch out one player from the side of NRX 420 yet again, and that is the one and only Kape. But now, Almighty Prime, they are aiming and they take fire. The players in front of them are gonna be VVV, but also one player from the side of NRX 420. Boji still alive and kicking out there. NRX hasn't been taken out of the equation, and even after Kape was dropped, the survival as well as the pullback here is still gonna be possible. Boji drops Black. and NRX 420. They continue popping off out there, but Almighty Prime, they might just be able to bring the fight to them.
Yeah, the fight might be on to them, and this time Royal Kings will be able to emerge from that basement. Oh, VVV right now is in trouble with an FHJ, but no, Jewel will be popping off, and they will be moving in, but I think this is a trap that will be set by Royal Kings. All four members is in that basement, and VVV will not making that mistake of moving down. But on the other side, we have Boji, who has been taken down. Their X420 will have only Quintano to their name, to their team, to survive.
Come on, guys, come on. We are running out of time here. Hit that share. Make sure we get up to 3,000 shares. If you guys want, if one of you wants that 2,000 CP, that's a lot of CP, man. You talk about crates, you can get a lot of crates with the 2,000 CP. Courtesy of the Mustachio, make sure you've got those 2 hashtags out there. Make sure you share this. Make sure we get up to 3,000 shares. As Almighty Prime now repositions, they look for a better defensive spot. You can see the circle leading all of those players into the open lands between nuclear plant launch base as well as overgrown. Things are about to get dicey out there in this final game, Neptune.
Yeah, and everyone is coming in from farm and bus station, so they need to move in quickly to be able to take advantage of safe zone. But Jewel right now, I think they already have a good position in here onto the edge of safe zone, and all they have to do is gatekeep who will be moving in. But Siora is in there to take a higher ground to get a better position and information for this team, and the vehicle gameplay will not be put into play, as we have a VVV right now taking that away from anyone who will be trying to use that. On the other side, Jesua was able to take down Virus of Vagabonds Nomads, but BBB Siorak right now is here moving in onto the other side as they go in onto this higher ground. They might be meeting one of Royal Kings who they have missed earlier, who came from bus station, so we'll have to see how will that end, AJ.
Almighty Prime, they've got the vantage point up here. NRX 420 back in a full squad right in front of the players as they try to find a better safe ground for themselves. Easy Reborn Esports Magna, on the other hand, SDPH right behind them alongside Almighty Prime. Sphinx will have an opportunity. Calls in for the airstrike. Will not be able to bag much out of that airstrike because there's nobody there. SDPH were outside of that compound. Jewel now, long shot, takes hanging out of his throne, and he is hanging on for his dear life. Has not been taken out of the equation just yet, but as the players of Easy Reborn Esports Magna now tries to take down SDPH, Panot with a good slide and jump to avoid the shots coming out from Nyx. It is an amazing play from this team, no doubt whatsoever, but they need to start moving now because they're taking all of these engagements, trying to gatekeep the other squads, but usually a team like this gets punished, Neptune.
Yeah, they will be punished the moment that they glide into a different team. So they need to move right now. And on the other side, the teams who are not moving is Dre and Chibi, and SDPH will be taken down as Breezy will be left behind on the outside. Chase was taken down in there, but and killed as well by BBB. Timothy with the target of GB right now. And Timothy has no way into the safe zone, and they will be backing out, and they need to regroup. But how much long will be able to survive as we see kills after kills, and we'll have to find out who will be able to take the middle of this zone, because a lot of things will be happening in a bit as it closes in less than 1 minute. A lot of fights will be ending because 12 teams is still alive in this forward phase.
Almighty Prime now, 0 on armor for Chibi, needs to play this safely, pops that smoke, and then recovers a little bit of his defenses. And it's going to be Easy Reborn Esports Magna on the other side. Key Phoenix has been taken out of the equation. The 4 Kings have been dropped in that 15th spot. Vagabonds Esports has been eliminated as well. And it looks like they're really sleeping out here, Neptune, in the final 2 matches.
Yeah, I mean, they really don't want to cross that 200 mark just yet. I mean, I think it's a chance for them to really ask or challenge the other teams to catch up if they can, and if they can provide those points to be able to cover those. I mean, what they need to get back to number 2 and number 1. But those teams who are popping off right now is NRX 420. Earlier, we've seen them with a lot of kills, and so far they have been surviving right here together with 10 more teams. But all Metaverse Esports is also in there just waiting for the opportunity for the hit. But from behind, we have another team with a snowboard who might be rushing them as well. So the smokes needs to be popped, and the information needs to be relayed that they need to get a higher ground to get better positions against all the teams surrounding them.
A little bit more out there for Yanara now, as unfortunately for Existence Valhalla gets taken out of the equation. 13 Academy continues to pop off. Hangen taken out of the equation. Del Cutie dropped as well, and the 13 Academy continues to slay player after player. Peanut strikes as well. 13 Academy catches Frosh out in the open, and Almighty Prime chipping in those shots as well. But it will be the players of Amethyst Esports now that take the position of the Royal Kings. And are they going to be able to survive here? Because everybody has got their eyes on the exact same defensive spot. Now, towards the right, it's going to be NRX 420 as well as Easy Reborn Esports, Magna Chibi with the backstab and a beautiful rewind by Nyx. But Nyx just jumps out of the circle. So that's going to be a GG for him as he tries to reposition.
Yeah, I mean, he might be gatekept right now, especially that he has been seen by Chibi, and the moment he steps into the safe zone, he might be gunned down. And there you go, we have Kentaro in there for the kill against Nyx, and Chibi still having his eyes on the prize as they spot NRX 420 from the higher ground. Almighty Prey is in there taking down Jiu from Alibaba Clan Mystic, but Moji was able to take down Chibi from the bar side, and NRX 420 is starting to fight against the Almighty team.
Yeah, multiple teams now taken out. Vagabonds, Nomads, Royal Kings, as well as EZR. They have exited this lobby already, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And the ones in a great position to win this out now will be NRX 420. As Dre now tries to throw that smoke bomb towards the players of NRX 420 to obscure their vision as well, to get that extra information for himself. He gets all tagged up. NRX 420 knows their position, and he better hope and pray a grenade does not come flying in. And as I say that, the grenades come flying in.
And a quick getaway by the team of Almighty right now. It's now left to Dre and Quasi right here. And we'll have to see how will that be responded by NRX 420. They have a good position in here on higher ground, as well as cover with that smoke that has been popped. Angel Cutie will be taken down by BBB. Will be able to take down BBB Paul, but Nerosa in there still in the hunt. And if I'm not mistaken, Nerosa is the only one from AMB that we are seeing right now. Snowboarding as well as taking kills after kills from the other side. How much longer will he be able to survive, because there are still 4 teams behind him? And there you go, NRX 420 is dying out of the safe zone, as well as the hit by 13 Academy. Angel Cutie is in a row right now, and we have in here 13 Academy putting them down. Cafe is the only one surviving in this fight, but here comes the Rosa for the hit, but a rewind class, he will be able to get away, but Quasi on the other side takes him down.
Yeah, 13 Academy just running this field out here. 21 kills so far. You know they are aggressive. And especially after the players of Vagabonds Esports already got taken out of the equation already. 13 Academy wants to catch up, but they also have to make quick work of Almighty Prime. Almighty Prime are in front of 13 Academy right now. 13 Academy looking for that number 2 spot. Will they find it? Instinct from up top. Quasi taken out. 13 Academy. They finished day 2 in the number 2 spot for sure. What a play. What a performance, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, great play coming from 13 Academy, and they're getting in and out of battle as well, surviving our gunfights that has been happening. And I think it's a more of the communication that has been relayed in there by the teams. Looking at the winner feed, that is that is Instinct together with the rest of the teams, as well as one who is not together with them. And good communication with the gameplay really comes in for the teams who are aiming to go on a higher ground. And I guess the Academy is on their way there.
They are most definitely on their way there. The only thing that is going to potentially stand in their way is the players of Almighty Prime potentially grabbing a couple of extra kills to stave off, the players of 13 Academy from catching up. But with the 21 kills that 13 Academy pulled off, oh my lord, I was thinking that Almighty could not match up with them. But there's quite a number of kills here. Let's take a quick calculation here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's a total of 10 kills just between Angel Cutie as well as Instinct, and 13 between Tom Peeps as well as Glad. So that's 23 kills for the side of 13 Academy. Almighty Prime, on the other hand, we have got a total of 9 plus 5, 14 kills. So definitely 13 Academy outclasses Almighty Prime, although it was a valiant effort from the side of the Prime squad. Almighty, amazing stuff out there, but they're not going to be able to best 13 Academy. And yes, 13 Academy will take over that number 2 spot for sure. Amethyst Esports, on the other hand, they take the third placement for themselves alongside 10 kills here, which is super impressive, but not as impressive as the improvement that we see out of NRX 420. You ask for it, you get it, God Community. Peanut with the 6 slays. Yesterday, I dropped by Peanut's stream and I was like, Peanut, can you please go out there and can you please kick some butt so that we can hype you up to know? And the guy delivers, man. What a play by Peanut earlier on as he survived the attack of ABC Mystic. Tremendous strategy, back and forth, so much of IQ gameplay involved in that battle, and he ousted a full squad all on his own. While Scarpe went there to pick up the rest of the dog tags and scan his team members right back through. And because of that, the one of the earliest engagements in here, NRX 420, they could have gotten taken out, but they managed to survive and get that number 4 spot for themselves with a total of 13 kills, Neptune.
Yeah, 13 kills with a name. Impressive gameplay from NRX 420 right now. Moving in on to the fifth spot right here, we have VVV Esports Vici with a total of 4 kills to their name, but still a good placement for them. Followed by yet another team of VVV Benny, and they will be getting a lot more on the kills. This is 9 kills for the 6th spot. Still good on them to be able to move their placement on the leaderboards. And on number 7, we have asked as well for ABC Mystics to be able to perform. And this time, they have performed with a lot of kills already. That is a total of 7 kills on 7th place. And I think with this move, AJ, they are on their way to move higher up on the leaderboard because they have been studying. And though they missed an opportunity against NRX 420, that didn't let them like fall down and disappointment. They still moved forward and got those skills, and it was shown in the kill feed as well as at some point in the actual feed that they are going in the slay, but they are doing it a little bit more smarter.
Yeah. I absolutely agree with you. And I just want ABC Mystic to remember what they have done in this match. I want them to remember their performance in this game. And I want them to remember that it is possible still out there, even though they're surrounded by supreme Filipinos who know Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale in and out. MYSG still has a chance. ABC Mystic, there is one thing that they always have to keep in their minds. It is that they represent MYSG and they are inspiring all of the other Malaysian as well as Singaporean content creators as well as esports players out there that they can also jump into the fray and perform out there on the battlefield. A lot more for ABC Mystic to prove, and I'm very sure they will be able to do it. We called them out, and they stepped it up. Glad to see that. Easy Reborn Esports Magna, on the other hand. 8th spot this time around. They could not play those placement points in a single point that they grab from the kills. But in the 8th spot, you still do grab 1 point, so that's a total of 2 for them. Royal Kings, on the other hand, get absolutely nothing alongside Existence Valhalla. Vagabonds Nomads, very early this time around, they exit the lobby with a total of 5 kills. I don't know what's up with the Vagabonds Nomad squad, but like I said, if they want to shut some mouths, they need to go out there and perform on the battlefield just in the same way they did at semifinals 2. We don't seem to see that. Hopefully, we get to spot that tomorrow in the final day of the grand finals. This is going to be team number 6 here, Team VD from VVV Esports with a total of 2 kills for themselves. So that's 2 points. STPH bags, nothing. Vagabonds Esports, Usangala. Just when I said they can sleep for the final 2 matches, I didn't mean it, bro. I didn't mean that, okay? I was kidding. I was playing. But Vagabonds Esports, I mean, they're cheeky in their own way as well. They're like, okay, Pistachio, you said it. You get it. Okay, 2 kills. No, thank you. Thank you. But tomorrow, maybe. Let's go back to our winning ways and break some records out there. Because Vagabonds Esports, not only are they your 3-peat winners, but they are the most dominant team out there on the battlefield for Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale. And, you know, not only do we want to see them win again, but we also want to see them win in such a tremendous fashion that it astounds the rest of the COD community. And that's exactly the kind of path that they are on. 4 Kings bombed out a little too early here, Neptune. Only 2 kills, and he Phoenix with a single one on their side.
Yep. And in a bit, we're going to see the highlights of this game and a little bit more of the gameplay that we've seen. And this time, this is where Alatsky has been chased by a metaverse right here. And despite of the challenge or the battle that has been happening in there, Alatsky was able to go for a good chase, even surviving the wrath of Nerosa. But it is the gameplay of the other team surrounding them that really takes them out. And I think this is also attributed to what we are saying against Vagabonds Nomads. You can be aggressive, you can be great in the gameplay, but if you consider the other team surrounding you and you don't have those information, you might have gotten a lot of kills, but you will be taken out as you turn around.
Oh yeah, absolutely right. And that's the kind of risk that you play in such an open ground like that. Yes, it gives you the vantage point, but everybody is looking up at you as well because the first place people look up at is the highest point in that map because they know that's usually the hot spot which is taken over by all of those snipers. So you've got a little bit of plus, you've got a little bit of minus with that sort of an approach as well. But NRX 420, as they tried to go in here and grab the victory, 13 Academy happened in this final circle, man. 13 Academy just were on a breakout run here, just two players left on their side, but Tom Peeps as well as Instinct, they instinctually just went out there, not thinking twice, not slowing down the pressure at all, but making sure they had the firepower as well as all of those plates on them, man. And back to back, they were able to nail down the players of Almighty Prime. And a 2-on-1 situation was just a little bit too much for Quasi to deal with.
Yeah, I mean it's very difficult to see Almighty in there because from earlier we have seen them taking a good position. They are gunning down a lot of teams in there surrounding them, and they were able to survive with two members, but one has been taken down. And with the higher ground, and you were right, AJ. We talked about the higher ground and the this advantage and disadvantage of being higher ground. And on the higher ground, it's easy for you to be headshot. And that is, if I'm not mistaken, one of the factors that affected this game. Thus, 13 Academy was able to take that win. But when it talk about the numbers game, when it comes to the 1v2 situation, that could have been easily turned around. But, or no, that could have been set to how it should be, but it has been turned around by 13 Academy.
Yeah, and 13 Academy, as they were aiming for that number 2 spot, we know that the points between Almighty Prime as well as the 13 Academy was a little bit too close. So I'm a little sweaty now. My palms are all sweating because I'm just wondering whether or not with that breakout performance of 13 Academy, did they manage to secure the number 2 spot? Before looking at the number of kills that the Almighty Prime squad took, I was super confident. But after seeing Almighty Prime strike as well, I'm a little nervous. Let's take a look at the leaderboards, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. In the number 1 spot, obviously, it's still going to be your Kings, Vagabonds, Esports. But in that number 2 spot, it will be the 13 Academy Neptune. 42 points from the placements, 103 slays out there on the battlefield for 145 points, just beating Almighty Prime by 3. They have got the second place for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I've just realized how crucial that final moment is, and
Oh, yeah.
that is the run for number 2. And these two teams really go in and went in for the run and chase. And well, it is Third Academy who was able to get that win, but it's not that much.
Yeah.
Almighty Prime, it's just that close to be able to overtake them and catch up. So it's more of how they will be going in onto the last day of the finals that will decide on who will stay in there, but not far behind as well. I would say a little bit far behind is
Yeah.
Four Kings, who is in there, who have been I don't know. They have been performing with gunfights, with engagement, but survivability, they are just failing. It is a problem that we have pointed out already for most of the teams. And I think it is one that they need to consider seriously because
Yeah.
they will be going in the final day of the finals. And with this placement point, it is unacceptable. They
Yeah.
will need to put a little bit more of effort apart from the gunfight as well as to surviving to bring in a little bit more point to their team, probably
Yeah.
move them up to like the second or third if they can, but that is a question if
Yeah.
they can.
Yeah, a little bit of an adjustment here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Almighty Prime is supposed to have one win on their side as well. And the victory earlier on was by VD and not Vici. We do apologize for the error in the leaderboard here, but we will get that fixed ASAP. Don't worry about it. Down at the bottom, we can see the four Kings, Vici, VD, Eventus Esports, as well as NRX 420 wrapping up the left-hand side of the leaderboard. And this is going to be something exciting for the NRX 420 squad, beating Vagabonds Nomads, getting that 8th position. But there's just not many points between them. And as close as it is between that second and third spot, it is even closer down there for the teams that are still trying to scratch and claw their way up towards the left-hand side of the leaderboard, Neptune.
Yeah, but it is not the end of the story. A lot of
Yes.
changes might be happening as we've seen already on day number 2. When we thought that with the dominance that has been displayed by Vagabonds Esports, it will just be a complete dominance. It might also be that they laid off a little bit on the final two matches. So great potential for other
I'm sorry.
teams. Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for, they say. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But it proves my theory, man. It proves my theory. Two matches they didn't play. Number one spot. Nobody's near to them just yet. I guess that's a small win, but I don't know if it's the kind of win I'm proud of, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just they're getting cheeky and they're responding on the challenge, and this is a challenge that they played that we're in. They're still at top,
Yeah.
so it's. I won't be surprised that if we challenge them once again to go in for a complete domination by tomorrow, they will be responding. It's just on how many wins will they be able to deliver, as well as if it would be for the whole day, they will be doing it. Oh, there you go, AJ in there asking for a six. So I'm hoping that you
If
give
they
them
do.
a six right there.
If they do, bro, I tell you, there's no question whatsoever. Because obviously, a lot of trash talk out there within the community, and uh, a lot of production being funny. We got the leaderboards all sorted out. Let's take a look at the scores again, because as I was saying out there, Vagabonds Esports, no matter what they do out there, a lot of people are gonna have a lot of hate to throw towards them because of how dominant they are. Hopefully, to shake them up maybe with a little bit of confidence. But Vagabonds Esports, they don't care, bro. They're not gonna listen. They are not gonna slow down. If you have a problem with them, they do not respond out there with a Facebook war. They take it into the battlefield and they ask you to prove yourself out there in the battlefield. And so far, nobody has been able to prove themselves against Vagabonds Esports. I'm not talking about certain engagements out there on the battlefield. I'm talking about consistently picking up points to reach up to the top. But of course, this is the right leaderboards here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as we have brought in all of those adjustments. VD has gotten their win as they rightfully deserve it. Almighty Prime now has that 1 point there as well. But the leaderboards don't change on the left-hand side. Let's continue on from Vagabonds Nomads on the right, Neptune.
Yeah, we have Vagabonds Nomads who was able to put in a little bit of play in there on the previous round, or I would say one round before the previous round, but they didn't go in that much on the others. So they ended up in number 10 on that spot. Thus, it still remains that they will be in there on the right hand side of our leaderboards. Venny, on the other hand, is still in there with one kill to or one win to their name, but not that much onto the placement as well as the kills to be able to cross over. So hopefully we'll be able to see them together with the brothers on the left hand side. Existence Valhalla, with the persistence that they are doing, taking higher ground and also waiting for the battle. Hopefully a little bit more of engagement for them from them because they are on the right track on getting good position and
Yeah.
getting the kills. It's just that they're not applying it just yet, but they are on their way there. They are on their way. They will have Royal Kings in there together with HE Phoenix. Both teams has great potential, especially with the kills that they have been showing. It's more of surviving the battle out there
Yeah.
to be able to end up on number one. Easy Reborn Magna in there on number 14. ABC Mystic in there on number 15, moving up a spot after the challenge that has been put in there. And they will be putting down STPH on the last spot at 16.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. All of this action will, of course, continue tomorrow, the final day of the finals at Garena Survivors. This is going to be day number 3 of the finals, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Tomorrow, Saturday, 11th of June, 5 p.m. Probably not till 11 p.m. Okay, that's just worst case scenario. But I'm probably going to finish up about 9 p.m. just as always. And you know exactly what it is. So make sure you block your calendar off, because if you thought the action was crazy yesterday, if you thought it was livid today, it's going to be off the charts tomorrow. And that is something that we can definitely guarantee you. But a quick shout out to the one and only 4Kings. Y'all better buck up, man, because NRX 420 seems to be catching up. Yeah, they're a little slow, but they're climbing up ever so slowly. So if you are listening, oops, sorry, make sure you guys don't say oops, sorry by the time this battle is over, because that rivalry, it will still stay alive all the way down until match number 6 is done and dusted with Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. It's still a lot to be proven in there between these two teams, and we'll still have yet to see how much more they can move into the leaderboards because,
Yeah.
as you mentioned, other teams are catching slowly, so you just don't want to let go of that gas. So, speaking of letting go of the gas, we are going to let go of the gas right now because that ends it for day number 2. We are sorry, I saw your face, AJ, and I just realized I put it down wrong, and I don't like how I'm finishing all this day. But anyways, I'm pulling out that foot from the pedal because we need to decelerate because it is about to go to the end of the day.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for all the support that you have given us, and we are going to see you for yet another exciting battle for the Garena Survivors Finals, day number 3 tomorrow. We are going to sign off, and thank you and good night.
Stay froshy.